Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 380 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gamer podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and joined this week by the Bulbasaur-loving motherfucker himself, Mr. Daffy Moody.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And the hoodie-wearing one, Mr. Vitz Patel. It's hard to come up with a nickname for you when your room has nothing in it.
Yeah, this is it. It's the person with no personality. That's what it's going to be. But what's good, everybody?
What colour's that wall? Like, behind you?
This is white wall, yeah.
Just general sort of standard white.
It could be worse. It could be magnolia.
Well, you see, the thing is, it's the only identifiable thing in your room. I was hoping you were going to say it's like eggshell or something, because I feel like if I call you the white one...
Let's go to spin next week and see how it goes.
Sometimes I take a minute to get to the joke, but when I do, it lands.
We got jokes, everybody. We got jokes.
We've got
good
jokes.
God.
And I just set a tone for this entire podcast.
Yep.
Let's see where that goes from here.
Let's see how it goes.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing okay. We're fighting off about a toothache, and I'm on the onset of catching a cold. But outside of that, it's good.
Oh God.
Oh God, Jesus.
But we're powering through because we're all different kinds of happy to be here.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm overall all right. Can't complain. I always find a way if I wanted to, but I'm overall okay. I haven't said my line. It's Friday, everybody. You know what that means. It's the holy day itself. Video game day. But also... it's Christmas Day month. It's finally, we're here at long last. You can finally start listening to Christmas music. You can finally start watching Christmas movies, because you can only start that from the 1st of December until the 25th of December. And then after that, it gets burned again. That's how life works when it comes to
You
Christmas.
put it all under the tree, and then you set the tree on fire.
Yes.
May I ask, what's the punishment for doing things before or after then?
You did
After
to me.
the zone. Oh,
You
okay.
did to me. Like, I've disowned my brother's wife. Like, she's had a Christmas tree up for 3 weeks.
So
I even told him, you must divorce your wife. He refused. I can understand that, but he refused.
So I was I was at the day job yesterday, and at 7 a.m. I walked in at 7 a.m.
And you walked out at 7:05.
No. So they had the speaker, and it's up real high. And you know it's a fucking Sennaar speaker, whatever. So like connect and play songs. And I walked in at 7 o'clock, and at what I can only describe as an unholy volume level for 7 o'clock in the morning was blasting Frosty the Snowman.
Wow.
So you now own a broken Sony speaker.
No, I resisted the urge, but because it was up so high, I had to go and get a big pair of ladders.
So you now own a big pair of ladders.
I mean,
Because I didn't just want to stop the music. I turned the plug off.
playing Frosty the Snowman at 7 a.m. in the morning, it's a good job we're not based in Israel, because that is a war crime.
Yeah, that is a war crime.
Caffeine
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, that is a war crime in itself.
And ask Moody how much of not a morning person I am.
She's not a morning person.
Like, if I had been staying at your house, when I was staying at your house, like, let's say it was Christmas, and I walked out to Frosty the Snowman at maximum volume on Spotify, like, you could probably imagine my immediate reaction. Yeah. It wasn't a fun experience. So I'm right there with you, Moody. Like, everybody involved in that debacle, dead to me. Disowned them.
Yep.
I hate them all. I would have hated them if it was December 24th and that happened.
Right. That's fair. Yeah.
But the fact that it wasn't even
And that's the other
December
day
yet.
between the 1st and the 24th.
Yeah.
And just for the heck of it, the 25th.
I don't really do much Christmas. I watch 2 films every year. Moody knows what they are. It's the whole reason I have Disney Plus off of you. Because I watch Die Hard and I watch Home Alone.
There you go.
Those are
So
my two Christmas films.
the greatest Christmas film of all time, and also Home Alone.
And Home Alone, yeah.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Facts. For me and my partner, we go. It's obviously we Die Hard. We Home Alone it. We also Home Alone 2. We go back to back because we like both of them. We do the Christmas Carol, the Jim Carrey one, the CGI Action Fest one. We really like that one. It's just like it's a fun film. That's on Disney Plus. And we also, but I'll admit, we also watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Yep.
And the last one, and this is one we just recently found that like over the last few years. It's Klaus on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Top tier Christmas movie. It's phenomenal. Like puts a lot of old crappy Christmas movies to shame. And this one is just like, it's not just a great Christmas movie, it's just a great movie. It's a shame I can only watch it once a month, in one year of the month of the 1 month of the year.
You're sitting there in June just being like, man, I really want to watch Klaus again. Oh well, only 5 months to go.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It really is. But yeah. If you haven't seen Klaus, you got Netflix, give it a crack. It is a true delight. Definitely give that a try.
There is a third thing I watch at Christmas I forgot about, which is obviously the Doctor Who Christmas special.
Oh, didn't that
it's
first one happen over
First
the
couple
weekend?
have happened, right?
Last week.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's 2 more. And then there's
Then he
an actual
regenerates
Christmas
for the
special.
second time.
And then NQT's like in as
Yeah.
in for the foreseeable, right?
Yeah.
Up until the regenerating.
He's the real new Doctor.
Yeah.
Hell,
and,
yes.
and how it always happens, he's probably there for 3 seasons, becomes really popular, and then fucks off.
I wouldn't know about Jodie Whittaker being popular after her on as Doctor Who.
Okay,
I mean,
sadly, anyone who's a man gets really popular and fucks off. If you're
I
a woman,
imagine-
sadly, you piss off a lot of crybabies and make them whine even more.
No, I imagine when it comes to NQT, the BBC will do BBC things, and then that's what will make him leave the show.
But I will say, Jodie Whittaker, to what I saw, you did a fine job.
she was great.
It's not your fault that you had to work with crap writing.
Oh, she did. And like, I'm the biggest defender of Jodie Whittaker's era of Doctor Who that you'll find. But and there's some good episodes. But
Yeah.
holy shit,
Yeah.
it was hard to hold on at times.
Yeah. I won't lie. Her last episode, it's a fun episode.
It's fucking
But
nuts.
it's bonkers. It's
off.
bonkers.
It's off the
There's so
scale.
much going on that is so confusing that doesn't make sense. And then somehow it just lands at the end where you just like, and then you forget all about it after she regenerates and you go, wait, what? That's awesome, but what?
You just
and you're still
described
confused.
You just described Jodie Whittaker's entire run of Doctor Who in a nutshell. It's so
Yeah.
confusing, and there's so much going on, and I don't
Yeah,
understand.
Yeah.
But Jodie's
Yeah.
great, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
bless her.
And they got John Bishop in for the last little bit, and he was really good.
That's the thing about it. I think I heard everyone was saying like he was really good.
Yeah.
But everyone's so sad that he was only in for 1 season, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, he was in it for that little mini series, and then there was some specials because she did the David Tennant thing, where her last season was some specials. But he was great. No, John Bishop in his Scouse accent, just walking up to the Dalek, going, "All right, mate," and then just I'm fucking in on this guy. This guy's fucking great.
Oh, sometimes you don't understand what the Scousers are saying, but when they say it, they're like, "You're pretty cool. Yeah, I can get on with you."
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, Tennant's back. Catherine Tate's back
for 2 more episodes.
Yeah, everyone's loving it right now, and I'm just like, what's gonna happen in a week?
You're gonna find something
Right?
to bitch about.
One week from now, you're gonna have to go through "I don't want to go" all over again. This is the cursed chalice. This is the monkey's paw finger. It's you got Tennant back for 3 weeks,
And then you have to say goodbye to him.
and he's gonna go again.
And this is the thing. I remember when he regenerated the first time, holy shit, that was I won't lie, I go back and watch people's reactions just for the shits and giggles because it's really funny.
I do that with certain things, but no. As someone who did a full Doctor Who rewatch last year, what's funny? The funniest thing about David Tennant's entire like regeneration like episode, it's terrible. Like, it's a terrible episode until the last bit.
I don't want to go. And he was like, God damn you bastards.
Like, the episode just pulls up like half an hour before the end and just goes, right now, he's just going to wander around a bit, see everybody who's ever been in Doctor Who up to this point.
Is that we run out of budget? We just have wonder about the stuff.
Yeah.
But then
it's really weird.
It's like, it's fine. This was a great episode.
Really weird.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's really weird because it's like everyone had no idea what they were going to get from Matt Smith and everything. They just knew. It's like, oh shit, they've gone for the youngest Doctor they can get and everything like that. And I didn't really know much about Matt Smith whatsoever until Doctor Who and everything. And obviously he's gone on for greater and better things and everything. But when I first saw him and he was like, his whole stick when he first acts and everything in Doctor Who was just like, I'm in. Yes, give me that right now. And I was like all in. And his first episode, I thought
it was really good. Yeah,
so good.
I had a lot of issues with Stephen Moffat's writing, but like I think his first season was really good. And then there was like some great episodes. I don't know when the Vincent Van Gogh episode was, but
that's first season.
Top tier.
It's Matt Smith's first season. Yeah.
And Matt Smith's always great. Like, I wear a bow tie now. Bow ties are cool. Like, that's how you follow up the most charismatic, likable Doctor there's ever been, by just being as weird as fucking possible.
And he did such a great job that they brought, obviously, Tennant came back for the 50th anniversary. Because if he wasn't that popular, I don't think Tennant's coming back for that 50th anniversary or anything. It sucks that obviously they're doing the 60th long anniversary right now with 3 episodes and everything. It sucks that we aren't seeing any of like the Doctors that I've grown up with, everything like Smith and obviously
hey, you never know.
Yeah, Capaldi. I was always mixed on Capaldi. I've been mixed on Capaldi as an actor in general personally, but and Whittaker, I enjoyed what I saw, but I don't think Whittaker's coming back anytime soon. So it's just like, nah, fuck you guys, I'm gone.
For someone who isn't a Whovian, did Eccleston come back for these or
no? He's never come back.
Right.
Eccleston will never come back.
Yeah, he does not want to come back. Yeah.
So am I right in saying they were probably the first, or they were part of the quote unquote reboot?
Yeah, he was the
first Doctor.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good.
Yeah. Like it was a big shock, like because it was all coming, but it came back.
No one knew that he was gonna.
I'm sorry.
No one knew he was going to die at the end of the season. It was like, what?
Yeah. And then it's like, wait. It's like, I think it was like halfway through the season, there was like, yeah, Eccleston's leaving, guys. It was like, wait, what?
One and done, baby.
And I wasn't back on Doctor Who. I was never on old Doctor Who, but I wasn't on that Doctor Who yet. Tennant was the one who brought me into it. But I was like, oh shit, the nerds are going crazy online. Oh no.
I was literally when it was airing. Because it was like 2005 and stuff. I was literally like kick everyone out of the living room. Right, the TV's mine for the next hour. It's Doctor Who time. Get out.
There'll be no talking, no conferring.
You can stand here. You can stand here if you shut up. That was my whole vibe. But yeah, no, like Peter Capaldi was the one that suffered the most from the bad writing, I think. Because like
I can't comment on it. I didn't really much.
He had that whole story arc where it was like, "Ooh, maybe the Doctor's killing people. Maybe he's a bad person." And it's just like, can we not do this? But we did it anyway.
He had his Dark Knight phase, did he?
Yeah, he had his Dark Knight phase, but also like he was the Doctor, so it was a weird Dark Knight phase. I was glad when it was over. Weirdly, though, like one of the best episodes of the entire series also happened with Pierre Capaldi. So that's the beauty and joy of being a Doctor Who fan. It's just like it can be terrible for weeks, and then all of a sudden it's just like, holy shit, that was amazing, and then it goes back to being terrible again, and it's just like that's why you have to keep watching it.
I'll say one thing about Capaldi's run. I love the version of the Master, Missy. I thought she did a really good job. I thought she was really canny. Yeah. it's insane how up and down it is. They haven't returned to the peak of what Tenet was, and that's why I think they've obviously brought them back to saying we're going to start fresh, but we're going to make it old again. We're going to bring back, we're going to get everyone back because everyone loves Tenet, which is no lie. Everyone loves Tenet even after he's gone on to do other things. People have loved what he's done and everything.
Yeah. I mean, Tenet and Catherine Tate were probably the most popular pairing.
Did people like Billie Piper and their work?
Yeah, I think people like Billie
But
Piper.
She was only around for one season.
Is that right? Okay.
His first season, she left. Tenant's first season, she fucked off as well. She kept coming back for a couple of episodes, obviously to redo their story or finish their story and everything. But yeah, she skadooshed as well. She was like, well, I'm going to go off and play a hooker. That's basically what she did. She did, yeah. Call girl or something, wasn't it? So I can't remember it. Secret Diaries of a Call Girl, yeah. I was thinking, Jesus, I'm going from a PG-13 thing to a rated R
Doctor, I
thing.
love you so much. Bit dirty bass, but it's quite the trajectory.
I was
Hey,
going
she's
to go
got range.
really dirty there, but I'm glad I didn't say anything.
She's got range.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And now she's just nothing anymore. You don't see her doing anything at all.
Good for
these
her.
days.
I imagine the residuals from being at Doctor Who for a couple of years have to be pretty sweet because it's always around.
No doubt.
That's probably why everyone only sticks around for 3 seasons. They're just like, cool. So I'm going to earn how much every year? Cool, babe. That'll do.
Yeah.
It's like being the PM of the UK. You can just do 44 days and all right, that's it. Cash
I'm
in my
citizen
check.
for life now. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to start a letters farm.
I won't lie. I think the thing that disrupted me with Capaldi right at the beginning was how how Smith regenerated into him. It was just like, yeah. It's like, what? What's going on here? Hey, Tennant went, Eccleston went, blasting out energy and everything. Yeah. Nah. Every other Doctor of the new generation has been blasting with energy and everything, and Smith's just like,
wow. Peace.
Ding! Surprise, motherfucker! I've now changed. It's like, no, what happened? It was so disrupting to me, but his finale was so good. I enjoyed Smith's finale.
Do you have the urge to watch Doctor Who now?
I've always intended to watch the 3 things that are happening right now and everything. How's Harris in it? Neil Patrick Harris?
He's not in it yet.
Oh, he's not in it yet. No. Okay, never mind. I thought he was. I thought he was the main bad.
I think he's just going to be in the last episode.
Okay. So was the first episode good, Amy? May I ask? Okay, I'm intrigued.
So I think there's
sorry, Vitz, go on.
No, I'm sorry. I think there'd be a lot to catch up on, and I know it would make Press X to Lucy, Locking Down with Lucy on YouTube, make them the most happiest person to have more Whovians in their life.
Do it.
But I think at the moment I'm avoiding all things BBC that I can't do. And it's one of those.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Understandable.
For the same reason I'll never watch Klaus.
There you go.
Not the exact, you know what I mean. Similar.
There's no boom going on Amy's life.
There's
I got over. Yes, I'll play it on my PC.
No, I'll just
copy it and then send it to you on Gmail. Amy. Boom. Result.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Episode
that is an
308. Moody admits to a crime. No, we'll just do what we did last time. I'll just come to your house and I'll just make you put Netflix on. That's how I watched RRR and Glass Onion.
Yeah, that's how she.
What a double header that was.
That was a double header and a half. Especially 5.5 hours of gloriousness. Because one film is literally 3 hours long.
And it's amazing. All the way through.
RRR is incredible. The bromance of the century. I loved RRR. I listen to its music all the time.
So this week, Spotify have been doing their Spotify rap things, and then I think Apple Music is doing similar things, and I think YouTube Music
Yeah, no, I got mine. It's all weird.
The credit song from RRR, which is a track called Sholay, is my number one track.
It's amazing. It's so good. I listened to it on the way to work. It's so good.
Yeah.
My number one track is called Sex Metal Barbie, and you either know or you don't. And I will not be adding context to that.
I do not know of it, but it sounds very you.
Oh, it sounds definitely Amy. It's definitely an Amy thing now.
Yeah, like, I listen to a lot of different types of music. I've been listening to a lot of the Octopath Traveler 2 soundtrack, which is on SoundCloud. Like, Square Enix just haven't released the best soundtrack of 2023 on anything, so someone uploaded it to SoundCloud, but also Google Drive. So I listened to it on SoundCloud for about 10 minutes, and then they were like, here's some ads, and I was like, fuck this, and I downloaded it. It's 2008 again. I'm watching David Tennant as Doctor Who. I've downloaded music onto my portable music device.
Today I really had music from The Last Guardian floating around in my head.
Nice.
So I just had chill vibes of me hanging out with Toriko, and it was a good time.
The Last Guardian, what a fucking game. I can't wait to make my video and just title it, You're All Wrong About The Last Guardian, you fucking weirdos. The game is amazing. Shut up. 2024 is my antagonistic era. Like,
what's
all this been then leading up to 2024?
I've spent years avoiding antagonizing loser nerds. 2024 is where I'm just gonna be like, right, the sleeves are already rolled up. The sleeves are already rolled up. I'm ready to go.
No holding it back.
I'm gonna set the entire world to rights. But before that, I guess we've got a podcast to do. So should we do that?
I guess.
Yeah,
let's do the damn thing.
Let's do the damn thing. Yeah, 2 hours of convincing Vitz to watch Doctor Who. I mean, what? No, that's not what it says. So like I think we've all been talking about the same thing independently of each other. Like, we finally set up a group chat. Well, we didn't. We just used Discord's group that we
That's
used
a group
to call
chat
thing. So we already had it set up. We just never actually used it. But like, me and Moody have been talking about backlogs. And Burnout, and me and Vitz have also been talking about backlogs.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, let's combine those conversations.
The same topic into
one. Well, they kind of go together, right? Backlogs and gaming burnout. I mean, both you and I, Moody, have had epic periods of burnout with video games in 2023.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass when you work in the fucking industry.
Yeah,
it's like,
you've got it worse than me. Like, what, you want me to play games after I spent all day playing games?
Yeah, no doubt.
But no, the FOMO is real, and I think with so many amazing titles coming out this year alone, I think people's backlogs have just been building ever higher, and it's one of these of, we need to get around to these games because we feel that we don't want to miss out on these experiences. But they just keep coming out, and the mountain just gets taller and taller.
And the FOMO doesn't help, where it's just like, for some godforsaken reason, like, I played Diablo 4 this year. Like, why did I do that? I knew I wasn't going to like it. Yeah. Like, I knew I wasn't going to like it. Like, realistically. Like, I know it's a fantastic game for people that like that kind of thing, but, like, you run around and push A on the control pad,
and it did get incredibly annoying for both of us.
And you pick up a thing, and it's like, ooh, this one has like 1 point more damage than this one, and like,
it's min-maxing the game.
It's not my kind of game, but I still played it anyway because it was a big game, like everybody wanted to do. And I played it because Moody was playing it. Like, but the fact that I even checked it out was weird. And like 2023 has definitely been the year of FOMO with all the games coming out and everybody screaming about how they're all fucking great, you gotta play all these games, and it's just, you just kind of like crumble into like dust at the thought of trying to fit all of these games into your life.
No, 100%. I think it's one of these things that, regardless of how antisocial individuals can be, we're still solitary creatures as a kind of thing, and we want to be in that of understanding what the conversation's about when suddenly everybody's talking about Tears of the Kingdom or Diablo 4 or whatever the next big game that comes out every 2 bloody weeks at this rate kind of thing. It's just one of those things. But more power to you for actually trying the experience, so you can have at least a measured and experienced take of what's going on, rather than just saying, oh yeah, that looks cool, but I'm not going to do it for X, Y, and Z reasons kind of thing.
Yeah, but then like I flipped that onto a side later on in the year when I just ignored Starfield.
Yes.
Completely, and I felt so good for it. Like I didn't.
Oh no!
I finally broke out of the. I need to have an opinion on this, right? I'm a gaming YouTube person. I need to have an opinion on the big game. It's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
To be fair,
not at all.
having an opinion just based on the marketing and the trailers and the vibe that it's giving you is valid enough. You don't necessarily have to do the you don't have to necessarily do the or experience the final product, because if the vibes give you the ick, then just don't do it.
Yeah, but there is that sort of like once it comes out and social media starts popping off and you start getting like videos popping up and stuff, you do feel that pang of like, oh, everyone's playing this, maybe I should play it too. And like,
yeah, but then you just get your friend to come and speak about it on their podcast.
Yeah. But Amy, you didn't like any of the previous games by this developer. I know, but everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, but this one might be the one.
This might be the one.
They've changed.
But yeah, no, like, so, like, I've obviously been thinking about backlogs a lot recently, and we talked about it a little bit last week. And like for the and like this is weird confluence of events happened this week where for like the last few weeks, as we talked about last week, Vitz, where I was like, I'm like, I don't want to play as many new games next year. I just want to play whatever I want to play. So I've been like tinkering with things, where it's like I've done it in the past where I've made a list of my backlog, and we'll get into like just a list of games with no other information attached to it, and we'll probably get into later why that was a terrible idea, and then it nearly psychologically destroyed me. But like as I was like figuring this shit out, this video from a YouTuber I've watched like once ever like came up on YouTube, because sometimes when I play YouTube videos on my Xbox when I'm doing other stuff, I just let them roll. And it was literally about, he'd made this video a year ago about, I'm going to finish my backlog, and then 1 year later I'm going to like tell you all about it. And he made this like hour-long video about the process. And obviously he didn't finish his backlog. Nobody can finish your backlog. But like watching him go through the process and learn all this stuff at the same time that I was like trying to like figure all this shit out for myself is what spurred me on to make the spreadsheet that I showed both of you.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, I'm going to adapt what he did for myself. Because yeah, like backlogs create pressure, even if you don't even if you don't mean them to. Like, it's this big list of things that you have to get done. And that even goes to, even if you just like, oh, just the 20 games I want to play in 2023, because like I had that list for a while, like all the way, I was just adding all the games to it. And it creates this pressure of like, you look at it and you'll just go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I have to play all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Was someone about to speak there?
Nope.
Oh, I thought I heard the sharp intake of breath.
No, I unmuted myself, that's all.
Sorry. I wasn't looking at the screen. But yeah, so I made this spreadsheet to tackle my backlog, which is like, it's got relevant information in it. Like, it alleviates the pressure of knowing, like, I was like, what are the key things that are going to help me decide what game to play? And the first one was, don't ask Vitz. He'll just say Persona.
This is true.
He already tricked you
Don't
once.
ask this man.
He already tricked you once. Don't ask him again.
That's a good choice.
But you did. But no, it's like the two key bits of information for me are, as I describe them to Moody, how long is it and what are the vibes? So like when I made this spreadsheet, which is way longer than any list of games I've ever like put to paper before, it has I went on a howlongtobeat.com and I took the middle number, because you know they've got 3 different things.
Yeah.
I took the middle number and I put that in. And then what genre is it? And then I made it like and so it sorts itself depending on what column I've clicked. So like now, if I'm like, oh, I need to play a game, like, well, what am I in the mood for? Something short, something long? Am I in the mood for a visual novel or an action game or a JRPG, which I've got a lot of those on the list. that category just exploded. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how it's gonna go. Like, I've just made the thing a few days ago. But what's weird is, like, we're hurtling towards our Game of the Year podcast, and there are some games that I definitely want to play. I tried a couple of them. I'll talk about them later. But like, what's weird is I'm looking forward to getting past that to play something off of the big list. And like, there's an interesting psychology there. I'm looking forward to stopping playing games
so I can
play these other games.
I think for me, I'm a big proponent of being kind to yourself. So one of the things that strikes me immediately is that we come up with these lists of, okay, these are the titles that I want to get to, because we feel some obligation of, oh, it sounds cool, or like we were talking about before, it's a zeitgeist, everybody's talking about it. I would like to know what people are talking about, kind of thing. But it's also that thing of, we need to accept that there aren't physically enough hours to play everything that came out in this year alone, never mind anything else, kind of thing. So it's one of these where we need to accept that we need to speak to, or we need to only play the games which speak to us in the moment. And it's great having that backup list of, when we're looking for inspiration of, oh, I'm in the mood for this, I'm for that we have something that's manageable, that's broken down, so it's not a huge list of games. It's a choice of 5, or for example of, okay, what am I feeling at the moment? But what I think is also relevant is, obviously you spoke to feeling the need to touch a number of games before we get to our discussion in a couple of weeks, kind of thing. But it's also, it's how well of a job did they do of capturing your attention, rather than feeling obligated to, rather than, it's one of these where if the game didn't speak to you in its, and I hate to use the word marketing kind of thing, then that also speaks to, or it may indicate the level of the quality, and your time is more valuable than just sinking some time into an experience just to feel like you've touched that base, kind of thing. Like, if it didn't speak to you originally, then maybe it doesn't warrant that.
Oh yeah, like, so like, obviously once I narrow it down, it's like what games I want to try to touch before Game of the Year. Like, I narrowed it down again, like after the fact, and like, I took Spider-Man 2 and I put it on my big spreadsheet, because I was just like, not right now. Like,
100%.
I read this really interesting article. I can't remember where it was. It just kind of flashed up on my social media, and it was someone who played Octopath Traveler 2, reviewed it, and they had it for like 2 weeks before the review embargo, and they played it for like 50 hours and they didn't like it. But they've been like dipping into it throughout the year, and as they've been like playing it throughout the year, they've come to really enjoy it. And what they've realized is it's because they're not rushing anymore. So everything that annoyed them about the game was annoying them about the game, because it was like, man, I need to play this before whatever the date was.
Totally.
So I think there's an element of that as well, where it's like you create your own pressure by like trying to rush things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's that thing of between the three of us, kind of thing. For most of the games that we want to talk about, one of us would have touched that base. So to speak to Marvel Spider-Man 2 kind of thing, you know that Moody and I have completed it, and I think both of us have got the platinum in it, or are working towards it at some point. But yeah, so at least like we've had, we can kind of share that load in terms of not all needing to fall onto one Talos person to say, okay, I am the knowledge.
I am the Spider-Man person. Like, it's not about not wanting to play it. It's just like not wanting to play it right now.
Absolutely, and it's all about the vibes and the now kind of thing. If it's not speaking right now, that's completely valid, and it's not anybody's quote unquote fault. It's not going anywhere. You'll get to it when you get to it, or if you don't, you don't. That's all good. That's all good too. There's not a shortage of games.
Not according to this list.
But just be kind to yourselves in these moments.
Yeah.
Don't feel like, oh, I've got to get to all of these, because then it becomes a chore and less of a pastime kind of thing.
Yeah, like I know I joke about Vitz ruining my life by making me play Persona 5 Royal, but like
It's so good.
I was the one that brought it up in that chat. I was like, "Yeah, have you got any recommendations for a 10-hour game?" And then like as we were talking, and you give me games, I was like, "Well, I really want to play Persona 5 Royal, but like, I don't have time before I think Alan Wake came out, which was the opposite of what we're talking about. It was literally just like, no, I'm gonna like go feral as soon as that game comes out." And then you made the stunning insight of, you can just stop playing it and then start playing it again later.
And those first 10 hours are really good, though.
I played 40. That's the thing. Because it was a game I chose to play, I played more of it. Sometimes I think I go like weeks without playing like a minimal amount of games because I'm forcing myself to play something because I feel like I should be playing something. Whereas if I just was present in the moment and playing something I actually wanted to play instead of something I felt like I should be playing, like I'll end up playing more.
No, 1,000%. Yeah, I love that you got absorbed by Persona 5 Royal so much that you wanted to play it and you were inspired, for a better word, kind of thing. And yeah, it's finding that title that speaks to you in the moment. And thankfully, like Persona 5 Royal is an experience for me that is unforgettable, and to be able to convince probably is maybe the wrong word, but to get more of the people that are important to me to experience that too is one of the best feelings out there.
I mean, yeah, sure. Like, and I don't want to take anything away from the fact that you definitely tipped me over the edge into playing it, but I feel like when you say convince, you convinced me in the same way that if me and Moody were in a shop staring at a Bulbasaur plushie and I convinced him to buy it, I feel like he was already going to buy it. I just gave him permission.
I don't need convinced the
I said,
Bulbasaur
just like,
plushie.
hey Moody, look, Bulbasaur. Oh shit.
No, before she even said it, I've already had it in my hand.
I found this one instead, and it's like 10 times bigger.
I am very aware that I am an enabler when it comes to these things. If I get a slight inkling that you want to do something, but you need to be tipped over the edge, that I'm all for being that person. But yeah, play what speaks to you in the moment, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and it's all good.
Oh, definitely.
There'll be other voices out there to of whether it's podcast people or influencers or whoever it might be, kind of thing, to say that you put your trust in, to say their take on a particular game which you got around to playing, kind of thing. You can get a semblance of whether it's one that you'll want to check out down the line. And as I was saying before, it's just as valid whenever you. Unless it's, I guess, unless when it comes to like sports games and it's annualized and you're not playing with the latest roster of people and all the rest of it. Yeah, I think that's a separate matter altogether.
Sports games.
I mean,
I play NHL every few years. That's about it.
Moody's head over heels into Football Manager, but then there'll be an update for next year's roster, I imagine, kind of thing. And
me and Moody are Steam library sharing buddies, and like whenever I scroll through my library, I'm always confused by the block of Football Manager.
Oh, I skipped last year's. Okay, leave me alone.
How is that game? How is that game not a platform at this point? And they just released the next set of. Whether it be clubs and things like that, and just add new features to it.
Because the industry has a core of just re-releasing the game every year, just like FIFA does. So it's like,
For Moody's sake, someone who really enjoys these games, I don't think we should be giving him any ideas about moving into the live service model.
Oh God, no!
No, please don't do that.
It's backlogs and burnouts. They're brothers in arms, basically, when it comes to this type of thing. They really are. It's like we're going to work together here to make that person's life a misery and everything. And the industry just keeps on throwing more and more games out and everything. And by the end of it, it is just like, oh shit, there's like 10 games I want to try, and it's like just the number itself just makes my brain go,
yeah, exactly.
no.
Because how the hell do you decide, like, between all of these games, which are all so different, and it's like, and you don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it is really insane. It's like I want to try Alan Wake 2. I tried to start it, and I was just like, I'm not feeling this right now. I'd rather go and play another game. And then I tried this other game. I was like, oh my god! And then I just went down a well, and I was just like,
I saw it.
No.
I saw it like on the Xbox app. This game started, and then this game started, and this game started, and I was like, damn, Moody's not feeling it tonight.
yeah. It was just one of those. It was one of those nights.
The problem
and
is,
it's just been gone.
No, it's fine.
It's just, it's really annoying. But like I said, the industry's just like, the industry doesn't give a fuck because it's like you can get to them whenever you want. It's up to you that you feel like that's on you if you feel like you must get these games played so you can have a game of the year conversation for them and everything, and it's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. My brain still tries to fight that and says, no, you must play these games and everything. And that's just the ADHD in me. It's just like, fuck off, ADHD. Seriously, go away.
But seriously, your life,
video games.
Yeah, like you're totally like not gonna be a good person if you don't play all of these games that you need to play. It's like, fuck off, brain. Leave me alone.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what makes that's my brain. That makes it even worse. It's just like, oh no.
Moody, will Jeff Keighley let you into video game heaven if you haven't played all them games?
Jeff Keighley's not the gatekeeper of heaven.
He's the gatekeeper of something, that's for sure.
It's women and people of color on stage. That's what it is.
Yes, nailed it. I love you guys.
Oh god. Yeah, there's too many games. Like, I'm feeling an urge to play one that's coming up, but that's just because I've had it on my radar since June. And that was the one I found out last week, was it, Amy?
Yeah.
Highland Song.
Buy it on Steam. Sorry. Just trying to incept an idea.
Buy it on PlayStation, you say?
It's not coming out on PlayStation. Sucker!
Bite me.
No, we were laughing about last week when you bought Cocoon on PlayStation because you forgot to check whether it's on Game Pass.
I almost did that a second and a third time and a fourth time until I texted Amy.
Hey,
wait, all of these games are on Game Pass. I almost bought them on PS5.
I'm gonna give you a little hint. There's actually a phone app for Game Pass.
I have the app.
So like,
but the Xbox is right there.
Before you buy a game, just hit the little search button.
Yeah, I didn't think like half the games that I was about to buy was like, wait, these are on Game Pass. Holy shit, they're all on Game Pass. And I was like, oh, Xbox had to be good at something, okay? But yeah, it's like 2 minute games. But yeah, Highland Song, I'm really looking forward to. I think that's probably going to be the next one where I'm just going to be like, bye, guys. Yeah, I'm gone. See ya. And then Amy gets a text saying, I've completed it.
And I'm like, my turn, baby.
Yeah, it's
shit.
So many that just, and it gets piled on and piled on and piled on and piled on. Where you just like, even some games that you're excited for, you just lose the excitement for all of them, which makes it even worse because the industry just wants to keep throwing games at you and whatnot. How are they going even worse now? They're going to say, yeah, we're going into December. So Avatar, here you go, Moody. Fuck off, man. Seriously? Go away. No. But the worst thing is, I'm a schmuck. I have to try that game because I love the Avatar franchise. I have to. I have no choice to. That's what my brain says to me. And it's like, no, I don't. Remember all those terrible things the Ubisoft that people are still doing? Yes, but it's Avatar. You get to play as a blue person. And you're just like, no.
Moody, do you like Far Cry?
I know, that's what makes it work. I like
Then
Far
you
Cry
played
3.
it.
We
I
all like Far Cry 3.
Then you played Avatar
That
already.
was Far Cry to go.
I know, that's what makes it worse. It's Far Cry with a blue skin
man,
on it.
As somebody who was a fucking game reviewer and played all those fucking stupid fucking games, you don't need to play Avatar. Just spray paint your fucking monitor blue and play Far Cry 3 again.
I thought you would have said spray myself blue. Why do I have to spray my monitor blue?
So that the
Blue
person
himself.
looks blue.
So the person looks blue. I'm playing Highland Song. It's Avatar Highland Song. It's blue.
Well, it'll probably be a better game, but no, don't do that. Yeah, spray yourself blue.
Everything is better when you put Avatar into it. I know Medforce didn't like it, but Sonic 2 sucks still. Who cares?
Medforce was the only person who doesn't like Avatar.
You haven't watched it, so what the hell?
I watched the first one, and that was enough.
Can I drop some hard truths?
I like the one, The Last Airbender. It's all the same franchise, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
The arrow is blue. These people are blue. Same to same.
Yeah, they're on a different continent. There's one reference, and then they never talk about each other ever again.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I've only watched the first movie, and not for Vitz.
That's all right. This is the thing about it. People think I'm going to be offended by this. I was offended by Medforce because he jumped in on my excitement for this. If he didn't say anything, I would have been absolutely fine. But then he decided, I'm going to jump in on this. And then I was like, no. All right, then.
And so was I. I was over there.
And then Amy walked. He was like, I'm out.
No.
The one piece of, I don't want to say advice because I'm not sure if it's going to be good or not, is the other thing that I found is that watching Let's Plays of other people play the games that you're pseudo interested in but really haven't got the time for is a pro strat of mine as well, because you can be productive, you can do whatever you need to get done, but just have it on the background and then it's off your plate.
Moody's got a fantastic story about this. Hey, Moody, remember Game of the Year a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I put it into my top 10 a game that I didn't even play.
You watched me play it.
Yeah, I watched Amy play it, and I got so absorbed into the game. I have played it, and it's fantastic, and I cannot wait for the sequel.
Yeah.
Lost Judgment 2. It was absolutely incredible. But watching Amy playing it was just like, It was like sitting there with your partner just while she's watching something, and you're just like, you're not interested whatsoever. You're not interested in it, but then just slowly he's like, oh, okay. And then you say, what the fuck's going on in Moody? Look away.
For those not in the know, this is from the team that made Yakuza, or am I thinking of something else?
This is the spin-off.
Right. Many spin-offs.
So good.
Different characters.
It is so good. I did play some of it before we did our Game of the Year. But yeah, it was like basically I was like, I know the entire story. I have not completed it yet. I've played about 3 hours of this game, but it's that damn good because I watched Amy play it and it was fucking amazing. And it was so good. I've tried to do that with other people, and I'm just like, nah.
I think a lot of it you need to find the right people, and it's one of these where for Resident Evil 4 remake, I'm currently watching 2 different people play through, and they're doing it on a week-to-week basis, and sometimes they take hiatus because of their work stream and all that. But yeah, watching Mary Kish and Mike Mahadi play through Resident Evil 4 remake on the Kanini series is one of my highlights of the week, and just seeing coming across them too, and they're completely game by and all the crazy stuff that goes on in there. Like, I'm never going to touch that game because it's far too scary for me to play, kind of thing. But watching those brave people do it, then 1,000%.
Where's everybody going? Bingo.
Exactly.
Like it's really weird. Like, I'm watching a creator show on YouTube, F1 creator series, and it's all these YouTubers have come together to do a giant F1 thing. It's so good. It's better than real life F1 right now because there's more. It's freaking least they're having a battles for the lead instead of once every 10 races, and when Verstappen's not in it and everything. It's I'm having so much fun with that. But like trying to do like what you just said, like Lost Judgment was like really weird to me when I was watching it. I was in chat with Amy, chatting with her about it, and it was just like, it was really weird. Like that it was just obviously just a great, well-written game of Seal as well. Like a lot of things of like, well, saying, I was just like, beat them up, Amy. Beat them up, Amy. I'm going to, don't worry.
Let the cutscene end, really. It wasn't that
You're
quiet.
an adult. You smacked that kid in that school. You
throw that kid out that window. You smashed him in the face with that desk. It was like, I'm getting to it, man.
No, but it's a similar thing to Dark Souls. Amy, I know you were streaming that last time, and I was able to jump in chat for a little while.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was great fun. So, like, I've had my Souls experience with Elden Ring, and thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Yeah, but yeah, to see you going through that and finding the fun there. Well, fun might not be the operative word.
I was fun.
There you go. But then it's like, oh no, I've only got 3 soul arrows left. What am I going to do? I'm going to run away bravely.
No, I had bombs in my pocket. I was like,
strategy.
wait, hold on. Yeah, no, yeah, that was fun. Like, again, that was, I was texting Moody about it. That was that when I was texting you, Moody, and I was saying, like, I tried a couple of games, and I looked at my list, and then I played Dark Souls.
Yeah, you did.
Not even Dark Souls 2. The thing we were actually talking about last week. I was like, you know what? I have unfinished business with the first Dark Souls. Like, I had streamed it once before, years ago. That's what led to the Dark Souls 3 video, because I played Dark Souls 3 instead, like off stream. And Fox, bless him. And I said this in the stream. It's just like, I got hard stuck on a boss. I got really fucking frustrated with Dark Souls. And like, one of our previous co-hosts, Foxes, was in chat because he loves the Souls games. And he gave me the advice, hey, you should try Dark Souls 3. It might be more your speed. If all he had said was, by the way, if you go down here and talk to this guy, then he can get you help. You can get his help in the boss fight. I probably would have gotten through the entire fucking game. Like, after that. But yeah, no, it's fun. Like, I like those games.
Yeah, it's all about having the right shepherds that are going to tell you, oh, in Elden Ring, just ring that little bell. It doesn't make you any less of a person. Call upon all the friends that you can.
Yeah. It's like, these games are designed to let you win. Like,
yeah.
So someone on the internet might go, you can't use that. That's not the you've got to suffer. No, fuck them. Get the fucking most overpowered things you can find. I beat Demon Souls on Twitch at the beginning of the year because I found a spell that made the whole fucking boss arena explode in fire.
Yes.
Do I feel like I cheated the game? Hell no. The game gave me that.
That's it. If the game has it in itself to let you do those things, and it's legit.
Like, it's really interesting. Like, so, like, one of the first games I'm probably playing in January, that's the release. Even though it's not a new release game. I'm replaying The Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation 5. I know I am.
As am I.
Yeah, Amy knows how much I love that game. It's in my top 3 favorite games of all time. I absolutely adored that game. I thought it was basically a masterpiece, even though there's flaws in the game. I won't deny that. I can't wait for that, and I'm going to be playing it.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to bring over my PS4 save, so then I can do effectively like a New Game Plus run through that game. So I can have all the items and all the weapons and all the upgrades and everything kind of thing, and just enjoy the story rather than having the notepad next to me saying, oh, did I get that collectible? Oh yeah, I've already got that collectible.
Yeah, I look forward to putting Last of Us Part 2 in my game of the year in 2024.
Half of the games that we're doing this year are probably going to be bloody remakes anyway, so what's the difference?
No doubt about it.
But no, I was looking at the list of like new release games next year, and it's like the first one for me will be Yakuza.
Yeah,
Infinite
that
Wealth.
was the next one for me. Yeah.
And then when I I saw that game on the list, and I was like, damn, that comes out in January? And then I remembered, I never finished Like a Dragon. So guess what I'm going to do this Christmas?
Yeah.
You didn't finish Like a Dragon, did you?
No, I played a lot of it, but I never actually finished it because something else
I won't lie, I didn't. But
something else probably came out, and I've got a whole new mindset.
It's a massive game,
now.
like.
So
you're not going to try the one I've played this year, Ishin.
So I have a plan. And when I say a plan, I mean it's like I don't have like a set schedule for.
It's future Amy's problem, not just Mandalin's.
But
here's a plan.
I'm gonna play Like a Dragon, and then I'm gonna play Infinite Wealth, and then I'm going right back to the start of Yakuza because I've never played. Because obviously I jumped into the series at Judgment, which was like designed to be a jumping in point. I loved it. So then I played Like a Dragon because again it was new protagonist. Like because I tried Yakuza 6, I think it was when it came out, and it's like it's the 6th game in the series. I don't have a fucking clue what's happening right now. It's fun, but like then the cutscenes happen, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I've always wanted to go back to the beginning and just play through all of them. Like so, like I'm gonna do that at some point.
I understand it. They're all coming to Game Pass, or
they're all on Game Pass.
Available on...
So I've already got the first one installed on my Xbox, like for whenever. But like,
is Infinite Wealth going to Game Pass?
I believe it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Because Like a Dragon's on there because I installed it when I had that thought of I want to play Like a Dragon, and then obviously in amongst doing all the Yakuza games, I'll do Ishin and I'll do the one that just came out as well.
The man who has no name, erased his name or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Persona 5 Tactica. It's like I'm replaying Royal right now, so I'm not gonna. As much as I'll probably love it, and maybe I would have even argued for it for like top 10 game of the year in a few weeks. It's like, but I'm gonna finish Persona 5 Royal first because that just makes sense to me personally. It's like
I've been checking out the soundtrack that's available on Spotify and probably other. Well, it's not hitting as hard for me just as yet, especially like the opening thing. But it probably is going to take a couple more listens for me to really find the to get in that zone. I don't think Lynn went as hard as she has done previously.
I find that music from video game soundtracks hits harder when you've played the video game. Like for me, like I feel like if I listened to Persona 5 Tactica's soundtrack on whatever, like it would probably be like, oh, this is really good, but it doesn't hit as hard. Like some of the music in Persona 5 probably only hits hard because I was like, oh, I'm remembering the moment that like Makoto got her Persona and just like fucking go, fucking go, But no, like for that's kind of how I approach video game, like listening to music.
So the first quote unquote new big release for me in 2024 is going to be fun. Me. Around that, I think a month and a half to get through any of the other titles that I want to get to, which is plenty of time. And I'm sure that that I'll start another playthrough remake over the holiday break, and then probably dip into or go through The Last of Us Part 1 and then The Last of Us Part 2 when that lands, kind of thing. So that will probably take me most of the way there. So
that's cool. Rebirth is like the next game after Yakuza so far. There's probably like other games that will get announced for those months, but it's like for FF7 Rebirth, and it's like, do I replay remakes? I probably try.
All of mine comes with a caveat of if I manage to get through Baldur's Gate 3 in time. So I've just started Act 3.
I was going to say, you're making a lot of progress really quickly.
Yeah. So Act 2 went by faster than I thought it was. I've just started Act 3. Some things have happened in the story, which I won't spoil. But yeah, so this game is chugging in Act 3 to begin with. I'm not sure if it's just the place that I'm in and how heavily populated there are with all the NPCs.
It's a big problem. Even from release, it was like, you're in a place with a lot of stuff going on, and it chugs. Like when I did the big Baldur's Gate 3 podcast with Moody, I did say a lot of stuff about Act 3 just being like, damn.
The story has got its flaws in me.
They've just updated the game. Big update.
I shall download that then.
It's added the epilogue stuff that they said they were going to have, didn't have, and now they've put it back in the game. And I'm like, am I going to download a 100 gigabyte game just to play like 10 minutes of it? Probably. Yeah, probably going to do that. Yeah.
Like now, the beginning of the year doesn't seem that crowded.
I was wondering about that.
I'm only going off like what Games Radar says right now. Going off what I would want to play, I'm looking at maybe 1, 2, 3. Nothing in February. I'm not sure about Rebirth for myself.
It'll be interesting to revisit this conversation post Game Awards and see what gets announced and what's going to shadow drop and all the rest of it. Because when Silk Song gets shadow dropped, Amy loses her shit.
Amy's gone. You and me doing that podcast by ourselves. That
goes out the window, right?
Just so you know, Vitz, like she's gone for a month probably, just replaying it over and over and over again. Getting the platinum 10 times on 10 different accounts or whatever account she wants to play it on.
Xbox, PlayStation.
Yeah, she's just going everything epic.
So, dear listener, Moody is painting all of his monitors blue to get the Avatar experience, and Amy's painting all her monitors red to get the Silksong experience.
Yeah, I'll just fiddle. I'm going to play Hollow Knight and fiddle with the contrast on my monitor.
That's it.
But no, like I was wondering if that, because like as part of like as we've just been talking about, I've kind of raised the bar of like what is a must play immediately situation, and I didn't know whether when I was looking at games that are coming out like in the first few months of 2024, whether it was because I'd raised the bar a bit higher that I was just looking at it going, oh, there's not that much, or if there wasn't actually that much, because now it's like games that are like Yakuza and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth are competing against Final Fantasy VI, and like I don't know, like scroll to a random part, Chrono Trigger. Like these are all games that are on this list that I'm looking at, and it's like there's not that many games that are going to win against games like that. It's like, but when I'm in the mood for that kind of thing, right? Like, and that's an interesting sort of feeling to be like, wow, there's like a 2-month gap between Infinite Wealth and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like I've never had a 2-month gap before, and like I balance this with making like retrospectives and content and stuff like that. Like I recently played just specifically for footage capture for the next big video that I'm making. I played the first 2 hours of the Callisto Protocol.
Oh god, yeah.
Let me just say, I'm glad all I was doing was capturing footage. I was not a
Game
good
of the year, right? Game of the year.
No. No. I probably would have.
Or Josh Duhamel.
I probably would have preferred playing Redfall. And I also did the first Castlevania and Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Street Fighter 2 briefly.
Oh.
So it's like those aren't games where I'm like, yeah, I've got an urge to play these games. Just like, okay, I need some footage of Street Fighter 2 to talk over. Let's play Street Fighter 2. And it is fun to do that.
Who's your go-to when it comes to Street Fighter 2?
Chun-Li. It's the only character I know from Street Fighter, so
there you go.
But
the strongest woman in the world.
But yeah, it is fun to sort of like as much as I didn't enjoy the Callisto Protocol, going into it knowing I only needed like a couple of hours worth of like footage to use for this video, it was a fascinating experience of just being like bewilderedly playing this game and being like, this is supposed to be the new Dead Space. Oh God. What has Dead Space become? And then for me personally, I just really did not like that game. And yeah, I played it way after Dead Space Remake as well. Yeah. But like, yeah, personally, the Callisto Protocol did not do a damn thing for me. It's a weird game. And
I don't think it did a lot for a lot of people who played it, to what I could see. So,
but yeah, no, I've got like a list of games to like capture footage of, and some I've already got from just like historically playing games. But then there's other games that I want to dip into and like capture some footage. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. Like Bionic Commando. I need some footage of Bionic Commando, and I do actually need some footage of Dead Space. So, like, I may just end up replaying the whole fucking thing.
I streamed it. Just take the copy.
I've got some Dead Space footage of you that I'm going to use in the video. One very specific moment from your Dead Space stream. Don't worry, you get to see it before I publish it. As always, it's a video about game credits. How bad could it be?
Do you want me to answer this?
I've never done you dirty in a video before, have I? I don't think so.
That time where you literally turned it to get everyone to turn on me in Among Us.
That wasn't in a video essay though. That was a stream.
Yeah, you turned it into a video.
That was a stream, and I was bored. And I turned it into a video. One of the best videos I've ever made.
Yes, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, it is your best video, and there's no doubt. I would say it's your best video. Your best funny video, your best thingy video is probably, for me, I really liked the Dark Souls one.
The Bloodborne or Dark Souls?
Bloodborne. Was it Bloodborne or Dark Souls?
I've done both.
Oh shit! Yeah, Dark Souls. I think it was because I think it was Dark Souls the one you asked me on the first time. Asked me about.
Bloodborne was probably because it was the first one I did. The first really long one I did was Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Was it the one that had the joke about Keith being a DM who wanted to kill me?
I don't know.
Yeah, because that was a joke.
You've done so. Oh, I have not liked none of them. I've enjoyed all of them. So
I've not liked none of them.
I just realized how I said that there.
Well, no. So yeah, the Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Within a contradiction.
The Bloodborne and Dark Souls series is a part of a loosely connected trilogy I'm hoping to finish in 2024. So
yeah,
I'm going all in.
And there's another backlog for you, Amy.
I'm really intrigued as to what I say the Street Fighter 2 footage coming out, and it's got me thinking of a stand-up bit that Roy Wood Jr., who used to appear on The Daily Show, did Street Fighter, and how obviously games were much simpler back in the day, but Street Fighter kind of teaches you all the life lessons that you need to know. As in, two people might walk up in the street and say to each other, "I heard you were talking shit. Would you like to fight?" And the other person says, "Yes, I would. Do you want to do this now, or do you during business hours, or fish market close?" Said, "No, we'll just do it right there." And then they're throwing fireballs and everything at each other. And everybody in the background, they're just going about their daily business. So the life lesson here is whatever you see going on, just mind your damn business.
It's none of your business. I would like to just remind everybody about the list of games that it's a video about crediting in video games.
Yes.
I am not reviewing Street Fighter 2 in any way. The Street Fighter 2 fans can put their pitchforks down. Although I did have to watch, as part of research, I did have to watch all of the credits from all of the different Street Fighter 2s. There are so many Street Fighter 2s. Holy shit.
Yeah, 100%. So many World Warriors.
Super Ultimate Mega Edition.
It's ridiculous. There's like a YouTube video of all the different credits for all the different games, and it's like 15 minutes long. And bearing in mind, this is a game from the 90s, so like 6 people actually worked on it. And it's just like, what the fuck? Why are there so many different versions of this game? And why do they all have different credits? It's part of the video. Find out next year.
Stay tuned, everybody.
But so like, I don't know. Does anyone have any more to say on the actual topic of the thing that we...
Stop throwing out games. Let us play them.
Also, be kind to yourself. You don't have to touch everything.
Yourself,
Be present in the moment. Like,
yeah.
Pick a game to play that makes you go, "Ooh, I want to play that."
Yeah,
Don't think.
you.
Don't do what everybody else is doing. And on the piece of the conversation thing where it's like, "Oh, you miss out on the conversation." Like,
fuck them.
Vitz has been playing Baldur's Gate 3 like months after it came out, and we've been having a conversation about it.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's been an amazing conversation. I've been playing Persona 5 Royal years after it came out, and same thing. Like, Moody will pick up a game and we'll have conversations about it. Like, you can have conversations and be part of conversations about games. Like, even if like I imagine if I played Final Fantasy 9 like right now, me and Moody would be texting each other constantly. Maybe it's not right now. Like right.
You and Lollyfox too. It's their favorite Final Fantasy, and they cannot wait for the supposed remake to get announced.
Oh,
and
Vitz, if that ever gets announced,
it'd be this week. I mean, I know he said he's not going to do any world premieres, but it might be a world premiere.
Square Final Fantasy is too big for Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, they're never going to come to him. They're never going to come to him, even though it's their quote unquote 10-year anniversary or whatever. It's like, yeah.
They're not going to announce Final Fantasy 9 remake 3 months before they're releasing Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yeah. That's not happening for at least until Final Fantasy 7 remakes are done first.
I mean, but they also did Final Fantasy 16 and spoke about Rebirth in the same year, so who knows?
That's true. Like,
they were going to release them in the same year at one point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Shit, I need to play Crisis. Oh God,
Crisis Core Reunion.
I haven't played Crisis. Oh crap! Right, we need to do a halftime. I don't have an indie game of the week this week. I forgot.
But if you know of an indie game that you see on Steam, give it a wish list.
I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I might be changing how indie game of the week works. Ever since Elon Musk broke fucking Twitter for everybody, like finding new indie games is really difficult these days.
I know of one.
hit it. Indie game of the
I
week.
have to remember its name. Give us 2 seconds. No, I put myself on the spot there. Selfloss. Go and check this game out. This game looks absolutely amazing. It is an action adventure game set in the post-apocalyptic whale-worshipping fantasy lands.
Are you just reading our SEO?
Yeah, no, I'm reading what it says on Steam. It looks bloody amazing. It looks right up my alley. It's developed by Goodwin Games and published by...
It says so right there, post-apocalyptic whale-worshipping fantasy lands.
Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. Go and give this a wish list on Steam. The developers will love you for that.
Yeah. Looks cool. Big whales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with that, we'll see you in a moment, folks.
That's all, folks.
Big whales. Yes. The name of that YouTuber that I mentioned who did the backlog video, which I realized I forgot to mention at the beginning, was Daryl Talks Games.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I feel like I should shout him out. Like, YouTube thinks I've watched a few of his videos, but I feel like it's just because I've had the autoplay going, and sometimes I leave YouTube running and I leave the room. So, like, a video will come out and I'll be like, oh, because you watched this, and I'll be like, did I? I don't think so. I think my chair watched this video, but I don't think I watched it. But yeah, so I just thought I'd shout that out real quick. And now it's time for talking about whatever bullshit we're going to talk about in the second half. Oh, I have games, don't I?
You do. Well, games and
sort
a book.
of. And a book. Because I'm just that kind of person. It's not Edgar Allan Poe. But yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about these games a lot because I played an hour of each of them. Chants of Sennaar and In Stars and Time. And literally, like, they were both on like this, like, oh, these games sound really cool, and I want to try and I want to play them so I can talk about them in Game of the Year. And Chants of Sennaar is really good, but you have to brain use a lot. And I was just like, oh my god, this game is great. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do this right now though. It's like you have to you start off and you're like climbing this tower. Like, not climbing, it's not you on, but like you're like navigating, you're working your way up this tower, but like you don't understand any of the language. And so the idea is like you use contextual clues in the environment and people saying stuff to you to like translate words. And then like you slowly like understand more as you go up, and it's a really cool concept. It's done really well, and I played it for an hour and I was like, what's that smell? I think that might be my brain. Oh no. You're muted, Moody.
Did you break your brain, Amy?
I broke my brain, yeah. And so like it's one of those games where I'm like, I'm sure this probably would have been like a top 10 Amy game, but it's not a top 10 Amy game right now. And the other game I played was In Stars and Time, which is very Undertale-ish. It was very cool. I played the first hour of this as well. And this is like, you start off at the end of the big RPG quest. You're playing like one of the characters, and you and your party are preparing to go and fight the final boss in the final dungeon. And you go and you do that, and you get killed, and then you wake up again in the day previous, and it's like a time loop game. And the characters are so cool. Like talking to them and stuff. There's like a party of like 5 of them. And I can tell I'm going to get fucking ridiculously obsessed with this game. But also at the same time, I was like, if I try to play this now, I'm going to rush it and I'm going to enjoy it less. So I'm going to just let that simmer for a bit. And then when I've got the time to really just like focus down on it, I'm going to get really obnoxious about it and not shut up about it. But it's really cool. Like the combat in the dungeon, it's rock paper. It's based on rock paper scissors. Okay. So like the enemy will be like will have their hand in one of the 3 like formations or whatever you call them, and so they're weak like scissors. So they're weak to rock. and like all of the different characters are weak to their own like version of that, and like moves that they do are all like rock, scissors, or paper, and it's really cool because it's really simple, but it has that depth to it where it's like, okay, this character can't do any damage, so like I'll pass my turn back to this other character who can do scissors damage to this paper enemy and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to diving into that at some point. But again, it was a case of not right now. Like, not right now. I don't want to rush this game. And so I've started playing Sea of Stars and picked that back up after a few hours.
Nice.
But I haven't played that much of it because that was only today that I started playing that again. But yeah, no, I just wanted to shout out those two games because they both seem really cool, and I'm definitely gonna like really enjoy playing them when I'm ready for them, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. You got to be in the right headspace, and I think after a title like Cocoon, which everybody exerted their brains over, some more than others, then yeah, for Chants of Sennaar to kind of demand that of you as well, I can see how that. Hey, not right now.
It was just like, oh damn! It's like I did the first part, and I was like, yeah, I'm really getting into this. But then like it blows itself out, right? And there's like I'm like wandering through like 10 different screens, and I'm just like trying to keep all of the information in my head, writing stuff down. And I was just like, this isn't what I need right now. I need something simpler. And in Stars of Time, it was just like I really want to sit with this for a while. Like I did with Baldur's Gate. I played it like over the course of a month.
Yes. Awesome.
Like I didn't try and jam it into like, and then, like oh, I have to play this before all this other stuff happens.
There's no embargo to hit with that one.
Yeah, I hate review embargoes are the worst. I hate them so much. And then I finished my book that I
amazing.
I read a quote from, and we based an entire podcast topic off of last week, and it was really good. It's Fight Magic Items, and it's like it's the history by Aidan Moore.
There you go.
Thank you. And it's like the whole history of the JRPG genre, which is really fascinating. Even though I've been there for most of it, like, you know, it's really fascinating to get like a lot of different insights into how it began, because obviously I wasn't there for that. Like how Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy shaped the genre. How much of an impact Final Fantasy VII had, not just on the JRPG genre, but the entire games industry when it came out.
Oh yeah, like the size of the team that put together and how the marketing was like, this story could never be put to cinema, and you know, it took like a team like 1,000 people to come together. How
it like altered the course of like story-based games. And how it kind of sunk Nintendo for a bit.
Yes,
like because the whole thing about like Final Fantasy switching from Nintendo to PlayStation, and the reasons that happened, and like the direction Nintendo ended up going in, it's all to do with like cartridges versus optical media, and it's all really fascinating. And the same thing with Final Fantasy X. Like I never realized how big of an impact Final Fantasy X had on both the JRPG genre and the industry and the way it tells stories in video games. And there's just loads of little like insights into that kind of thing. And it's quite a breezy read. It's only a couple hundred pages. And it doesn't spend too long lingering on any one like era or like thing. And it does go all the way up to, I think, 2021. Because it was released last year. But it's a very good book, and if you're interested in JRPGs or the history of games, it's a very interesting read. It's very well written.
Great stuff.
That was it.
Moody, what do you have?
This came out three weeks ago, but I have to talk about Reacher Season 2. It's coming out in December. Season 1 was fucking amazing. It's just like, give me more Reacher. Like, give me more of that man slapping the shit out of people.
Is it Adam Richardson? Is it? Or
I think so, yeah. He's just like...
This is the man who was enormous, as in physically enormous. You may have seen his work in Fast 10, and they've been in a bunch of other stuff, but I think I first came across his work when they were Aquaman in Smallville.
And he was small then. Now he's just like, what the fuck? It's like the transformation between The Rock and when he was at WWE the first time into what he is now. Because The Rock was, yes, he was a very fit dude with muscles and six packs and everything like that. Now he's a tank. The Rock's now a tank. Then that's basically what this guy is now. But oh my god, that man can slap me all day bloody long. I'm like, give me some of that. And when I saw the first season came out of nowhere because obviously you had Tom Cruise's version. And everyone's just like, oh, Tom Cruise, he's a small man, he can't play the character, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna lie, after seeing the first season of Reacher, those people are a little bit right. I love Tom Cruise, but he is the most towering man ever to make you literally crap yourself.
Not physically imposing.
Yeah, physically imposing. Yes, that was the words I was trying to say. Thank you, Vitz. And it's just like, and now you see it, and it's just like, yes, and yes. And like season 1 was incredible. If you haven't seen it, just watch it. It's so much fun, and he is like the perfect Reacher. There's no doubt about it. He is so good. And I also wanted to shout out for his shows because when this show came out and everything, he also did a few podcasts that I watched where he's talked about like mental health and everything. And like a few years ago, he almost committed suicide. This is how, and like now to see things have turned around. He's in a better place, not only mentally with himself, but with his family and everything. And I'm getting attacked by my dog right now. To see him now turn around now, he's like obviously in a really big franchise in Reacher. He was in the last Fast and the Furious.
Sure was.
And he's probably in the next one as well. I'm only going off how like his character was still alive in the last one. Moody. Yeah, it ended up a cliffhanger. Like, oh my god, that cliffhanger is so stupid. But either way, I'm looking forward. Like, I'm really excited just to see what this guy's done. It took a few years. Like, he was in the Turtles, but he was one of the Turtles, so you never actually knew it was him.
He was Raphael.
I think so, yeah. But he was treated so badly on those two films. Him and the entire Turtles team, basically, who played Turtles,
all of TMNT
so badly. And now to see him now.
If you haven't seen the size of this man, he's the same size as Raphael.
Yeah, he's now. Now he is.
Yeah,
not when he was playing Raphael. Now he is. It's disgusting. He is a dreamboat of a man. There's no doubt about it. And if you haven't seen Reacher, go and check it out. Like, and I just want to like say, the man, fair play to the man. He's turned his life around into a positive way, and he's now got a great show going out with a second season. Hopefully that this will be a success where you get a third season and just continue and everything, because this is when, It's really, really good, and I'm looking forward to binging it all over Christmas period.
Amazing. Speaking of things speaking of IPs and things that are getting too late to, Lolly Fox and I finally got around to watching Exo Kitty, which is the follow-up / spin-off to All the Boys I Loved Before movies that came out starring the Lara Condor, that's the name. So this one stars her sister, and they go to South Korea to go to utterly charming. Not as good as the movies, but looking forward to what they do next. And it might just be because I'm old, but the principal character is supposed to be an expert on love and all the rest of it, but it also looks like she's still got a milk teeth, and it's one of these of I'm not buying how mature you're playing this character kind of thing, but it's a small nitpick.
Speaking of nitpicks, I saw the Fallout in TV show information. Like they released some
screenshots.
Whatever TV shows have instead of screenshots. Pictures.
I've seen everyone's going crazy over these. I'm just like, it's pictures, guys. You'll knowing your luck, everyone. Your tune will change after the trailer drops next week at the Game Awards.
Yes,
No,
see how it fares in motion.
They've got Amazon money. It's like, of course, it looks like Fallout. But no, Walton Goggins is in it, which is like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, let me just read what if they're doing, and it's Todd Howard talking, and I'm like, oh, here we go. But it's like one of the things they're talking about is like, oh. You know how like the main iconography is Vault Boy.
Yeah.
Vault Boy. And like,
but for audio listeners, Avery just held up a figurine of Vault Boy.
I've got Vault Boy. And like, we're going to explain the origin of the Vault Boy. Like, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that? You made this mistake in Fallout 4, Todd. And then I'm like reading this going, they're going to do it again.
Did he just say it just works?
No.
The thing that interests me is that Walter Goggins plays a character called Ghoul. Now, whether it's the only Ghoul that exists in LA, which I believe is where the series is set kind of thing, as opposed to like Boston, Massachusetts or anywhere else, or Las Vegas. And it's one of these where, okay, are they the only Ghoul character, or have they just not released their character name yet? And it's one of these of, okay, did they only have the budget to put only Walter Goggins in with this prosthetics where he hasn't got of it? So
oh God, he really is. He really is just called the Ghoul. Oh,
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see on one of these quote unquote screenshots. All of the people in their power armor suit, they look like they're made out of cardboard because it's kind of like in soft focus. But then there's another shot where, the actual armor sets look pretty decent. But yeah, to Moody's point, wait until you see what this project looks like in motion before we make any final judgments.
Why is he called the Ghoul?
Oh, like Amazon do some really decent shows. There's no doubt about that. I give them. They do some really good ones. Like if this one shouted out Reacher, the Boys is really good, and it's like they did a really. Well, they were part of kind of Picard for a little bit, and then Paramount decided that wanted on Paramount only.
Yes, and then Paramount decided, no, we actually want this.
We want to come back to you, basically.
Yeah, we want to do a legacy sequel properly, and it made me cry on several occasions.
And they've released really good, a lot of great shows. Yeah, obviously the biggest high-profile one was obviously that Lord of the Rings one they did and everything, which was
that any good?
It bored me.
No, it was bored. It was boring. Yeah, it was boring. I finished it, but it was just like, you're boring. You're right, it was boring. It was boring.
Why is the fucking Brotherhood of Steel in this? The Fallout nerd. Sorry, I am just scrolling through some of the images.
No.
The Fallout nerd in me is like, why are you doing the Brotherhood of Steel again?
But you're not a Fallout nerd.
Stop it! Why won't someone stop him?
It'll be interesting to see how much pre-war stuff they'll do, as in whether that will be. Hopefully. I don't know, because it's for TV audiences. I can see them setting up the show in terms of having the first 20 minutes be before all the bombs drop, and then having all the rich folks run to the vault because they're already set up for it, and having some poor people go, oh, we can't afford to get into the vaults. And
that was the start of Fallout 4, and like. The thing about the Fallout was it's a parody of like the idealized version of Americana, like 50s Americana. Yep. So when Fallout 4 literally started and said, no, but this was exactly what the past was like, it's like, why did you do that?
Someone didn't want to
so it's not a parody. It's just that's how it was. And I wasn't a fan of that particular moment. So I hope they don't repeat that. But then, like, the Ghoul. My my brain is trying to process that. He's the one and only.
I wanted just to pop up and go, I'm the Ghoul.
Maybe I'll just watch Justified again. But yeah, no, like, I don't know. Fallout.
Are you calm now? Are you chilling?
Mm-hmm.
Good girl.
For audio listeners, Moody was talking to his wonderful dog, not Amy.
No, I'm never calm. Not about Bethesda and Fallout.
That's my secret, Cap. Amy's never calm.
There we go. All right.
I'll never forgive them, the bastards. But
It just works, Amy.
Fallout 76. Fucking. Hey, you know what the ultimate Fallout experience would be? What if we just took all of the NPCs out of our RPG? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, Todd. Like, who's in the room with him when he comes up with this shit?
Yeah, and they all go, woo!
Yeah, exactly.
What a great idea, Todd. Oh,
That's some mighty shiny shoes and fine jacket you're wearing, Mr. Todd.
No. Do not bite the wire on my headset, please.
Bite him, get him.
She is biting me.
She is, yeah, it's true. Yeah, fuck him up. What do you want to talk about? Like, I brought a list of things. Most of them are from last week because me and Vitz didn't get to anything last week.
I saw
We were
that.
having too much fun last week.
I saw that.
I just.
Let's go to the one that I'll believe it when I see it. Dragon Age Dreadwolf launches next year, apparently, according to Dev. Yeah, I'll fucking believe that when I see it.
Sure,
even if we see a trailer at the Game Awards, I'm not believing it.
Nope.
Even if I'm downloading it onto my console, I don't think I'm going to believe it.
Until it actually launches and doesn't crash on launch.
Yeah.
All right.
I want Dragon Age as much as... Well, I don't know if I want this Dragon Age as much as now. But you know what? Dead Island 2 came out this year, and it was fine. So, like, development
got nominated for a Game Award.
Development hell doesn't necessarily mean...
Bitch.
Get him! Development hell doesn't necessarily mean the game that releases is going to be bad. I think it's important to remember that in these dark times of Dragon Age Dreadwolf. But no, it's not coming out next year. You fucking kidding?
No.
I don't believe it is either. Yeah,
That's it. The current faith or lack thereof that anybody has in Bioware at the moment, you should take all the time you need, but don't you
I
be
believe
pushing
Mass
Dreadwolf
Effect's
out.
coming out before Dragon Age. I truly believe that. Like, if it actually comes out, we've just tax writ off Dragon Age. I'm not surprised.
If they bring that tax write-off shit over to the fucking video games industry, I am going to start throwing Molotov cocktails. That is not a metaphor.
Fires been warned.
Fires will be started. Like, that tax write-off shit is so fucking awful. Like, if you dare start bringing that to video games, you will see a fury unleashed in me that you have not seen since loot boxes made their way of Lord of the Rings. and sexy spiders. God, those were the days. I had a lot more energy on the podcast in those days.
You did. Then the industry just grabbed you and just shook you.
They made Shelob hot. Why did they make Shelob hot? No, we're not relitigating this.
also, we're not kink shaming. If you find Shelob hot, then more power to you.
Original Shelob, sure. Go for it, whatever. But she can turn into a sexy... No, we're not doing this. Stop me. Somebody stop me now.
Let's talk about how fan recreated Legend of Zelda as a Studio Ghibli. Because if you haven't seen the video on YouTube, it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of cinema. Sadly, it's not a playable experience, but they should be commended for the work that they put in, and I hope they find a suitable hole to hide in when Nintendo comes to their army of lawyers.
What's that noise?
Oh no, the Nintendo fans coming after me.
Is that Donkey Kong?
Why does he sound like Seth Rogen?
But it's so cool though. Yeah, someone recreated the Legend of Zelda as a Ghibli-esque animation, and they got somebody else to redo the music from like Zelda, and I saw it this morning and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is such a fucking beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, so if you want to check out Rwan Link on YouTube, then you'll find that piece there.
Hell yeah. Do that. Go watch some beautiful animation today. That's your homework assignment.
Studio Ghibli animation is
Required
breathtaking, like, there's no doubt.
Yeah. I got suckered in when it came to Ni no Kuni. And I picked that game up first time, and Mr. Drippy was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. He was just shop. Sadly, that game didn't didn't put its hook to me as much as I wanted it to. I never got to the sequel, but yeah, from a art direction point of view, that game was stunning.
It's on my list.
Yeah,
and I can legitimately say that now because I legitimately do have a list.
There you go.
It's not a theoretical list, but yeah, no. I kind of want them.
But
to
do you
make
know what's on people's lists, Amy? A flag, apparently. A flag. A flag is so maddening to certain people's lists.
Wait, does it look like that?
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't know.
Oh my
Maybe.
god! I have one in my house. The coal's coming from inside the house.
But let's be careful because Warner Brothers have a habit of cancelling projects as soon as they're done for no apparent reason. So I might cancel this one too, just because of the flag.
Like, oh no.
The thing is, this game has already got so much shit on it already.
We're talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and there was an LGBTQ plus flag and some gameplay that they revealed.
It just makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's like...
It's just laughable. That's all.
The gamers are mad about a game that nobody wants to play. Like, you cannot convince me that these fucking losers want to actually play this fucking game. Like, that's the thing.
Not anymore, because it has a flag in it.
Like, I've got some quotes in front of us, and it's just like, one of the @DerekSilk89. As soon as I see that rainbow wall, I'm out. Listen, Derek Silk 89, if that is your real name. You weren't going to play this fucking game anyway. Nobody was.
Yeah, you schmuck.
Nobody might be able to, depending on Warner Brothers either.
Like, 20-minute gameplay clip, and there's like 7 seconds where a bisexual character is in front of a pride flag, and apparently that's it. I'm out.
They must have really hated the Harley Quinn animated show.
Yeah, right? It's like...
she's fucking gay in that.
None of this woke shit. It's like, guys, half of the playable cast are queer.
Yes.
The ship's already sailed, you fucking dumbasses.
I love the idea that they're like, no, they're not. I've still got a chance with them.
Yeah, right.
Do you look like Chris Pine? No, you don't look like Chris Pine, okay? Fuck off.
Do you look like Poison Ivy? Still no.
Like, literally, one of the fucking tweets is I can't pronounce that but they're like, I hate this woke shit. I consider it disingenuous. But in a city like Gotham, I don't know, man. Gotham was never a progressive city. The characters can be, but the city should be dark and gritty. Number one, the game's set in Metropolis, you fucking moron. And number two, like, have you ever fucking read a comic or watched any DC stuff? It's like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? None of this woke shit. The woke ship sailed fucking decades ago.
The thing is, the LGBTQ flag isn't woke. That's the thing about it, you fucking idiots. At least use it right, you know? Complaining about woke, use it for the right terminology, not because of flags in it, or that you can say they or them in it, or whatever, you know? It's like, fuck off, man. I mean, this woke society.
I love the idea of Commissioner Gordon just saying, "Well, the Joker tried to blow up the bank this evening, but he also made a pass at Batman. That won't stand. Not in this town.
not in my Gotham."
This is the thing about it. There's going to be a gay Joker one day. Someone's going to create and write a gay Joker comic book. People are going to go nuts.
They're going to lose
and
their
I'm going to
shit.
be all there for it because I'm probably going to read it thinking, this is the most horrifying Joker ever, and I'm all there for it.
I'm not even going to watch the gay Joker film, but I'm 100% going to watch the comments. What the fuck, man? Like, I love doing this. I feel like we do this like once a month. We just sit down and we go, all right, what are these fucking losers complaining about now? Let's have a look. Oh, there's a flag, in Gotham City, which is actually Metropolis.
Yeah, these are the same people who lost their shit when Tracer came out, and it was one of these where it's kind of all the things to get angry about, this isn't it. There are so many valid things to get angry about in the video space alone. Never mind everything.
You know, this game has loot boxes, right? And they're just like, no, they took Tracer's butt off of the cover of the game and they made it gay. It's like, yeah, but the loot boxes, like, maybe we should focus on the systemic issues with Activision Blizzard right now. No, it was all because, like, Tracer's not fucking bearing her ass on the cover of the game anymore. It's a first-person shooter.
You don't even look at her ass.
You don't even look. No, you don't look at her ass.
Trust me, you probably don't even have time to even look at her ass if they're fighting someone. You're like, oh shit, I'm dead.
And there's no story in the game.
Yeah.
And Blizzard has a coming out party for one of its Overwatch characters every time there's a controversy. So you know.
But keep that like in a vault. Anytime something terrible happens.
Shit! What's next on the list? Soldier 76
Winston,
is
what have you got going
on? These people are crazy. Absolutely crazy.
They are providing entertainment.
That's true.
Just not in the way that they hoped they would.
So apparently, Persona's pretty big, apparently, I've heard. So they are increasing the salary for their staff by 15%.
Can we get a round of applause for Atlus for doing seemingly the solitary good thing in the industry that we've heard of, that we know about? Obviously, there's a bunch of different Persona titles coming around.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Yep.
Like, it's going to be a massive year next year for Atlus. Like, they've got the Persona 3 remake coming out, which a lot of people are excited for. That new game that they showed, which me and Amy was thinking, wait, is this actually Persona 5 or something like that? And then it wasn't. It was like, oh my God, no, this still looks awesome. Yes. And everything, which comes out next year, Persona. Which they're saying is next year. And obviously now the rumors of Persona 6 are now starting to happen and everything, which is probably going to get announced eventually. We all know it is and everything. So, and whenever that is, which if the rumors are starting, it kind of makes me think it's coming next year.
All right.
Probably for a 2026 release.
As someone who has been down this road with Atlus and the Persona series before, let me just pull the fucking handbrake here, right? Whatever they say about when it's going to come out, you need to add at least 3 years onto that.
Yes.
That's why I just said 2025 or 6, did I?
Like,
so I added 3 years.
They do this every time. Persona 5 is coming out next year. No, wait, sorry, it's the year after. No, wait, sorry, it's the year after that. Like, just right. I'm just letting everybody know right now. I've been here before. Handbrake on. 2028.
But no, good on us
in Japan
for sharing the wealth. Also, I love that these people who work in Japan, they get to come home and say, "Look, I'm bringing home another 300,000," and they're like, "Oh, US dollars?
Yen.
No, yen." Which equates to around about 2,000 USD, which is still not bad.
A lot of money.
But yeah, I love how ludicrously high the numbers get when it comes to yen.
Yeah, yen is a lot of fun to talk about.
Not as much as the Vietnamese dong. That's my favorite currency when it comes to ridiculous
Look at all these dong I've got. But yeah, no, it's great that they're doing this. Like in an age where when you're putting, say, I don't know, hypothetically, the show notes of a podcast about the video game industry together, and there are just so many stories of layoffs within 1 week, you just can't bring yourself to put them all in.
Yep.
Like, it's gone from a monthly occurrence to a weekly occurrence to a daily occurrence to multiple times per day. It's now like, oh, like, these people are getting laid off. This studio just got shut down. It's like, Unity, Embracer, like, fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
I reckon on the frequent number of occasions that Embracer does an Embracer kind of thing, all the other people laying off stuff, like, breathe a sigh of release of, press release, layoff.
Yeah, let's
because everybody's
just
focused on
slide it in
Embracer.
there because everybody's like yelling at Embracer. We'll just slide our press release in underneath that. Embracer really have fucked the game industry.
And their line in the stand of they're still blaming the Saudis of all people for not coming
it's a
through
safe
the bed.
bet. Just blame the Saudis.
Like, you can blame this, you can blame them for a lot of things, but like spending money that you didn't have yet, I mean, that's on you, man. Like, but yeah, no, it's like, it's so good to see like a developer actually going, no, actually things are going well. We're gonna give people more money.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, it's great to see this. So
yeah, and I swear to God, if you come out next week and fucking make a fool of me by laying people off, I'm gonna punch you.
And then announcing Persona 6.
Punch you in
it's
the
like,
face.
what the fuck? Oh, to pay for these 15%, we've had to sack 500 people. Wait, what?
No, that's a Microsoft move. That's what Microsoft does.
Well, let's see, because, you know, as I understand it, Atlus are owned by Sega or in partnership with Sega, so Sega might...
Sega are just walking up to the news and going, what the fuck? We're not
Well, apparently
having this.
they're in the research to purchase it someone Sega, apparently. So,
oh, can we not? Because all the mergers and acquisitions have been going so well the last few years.
Yeah.
well, Embracer are selling, so maybe they're thinking, yeah, we might be able to get these cheap. Do you mind stop biting me, please?
Keep biting him. Fuck him up.
Stop it.
Can we talk about Black Myth Wukong? Because
Yes.
Yeah.
so like a couple of weeks ago, Rebecca Valentine and worked with somebody else who unfortunately I do not remember over at IGN to do an investigation into the sexist culture at the developer Game Science who were making Black Myth Wukong. And there's a lot in here. We can go through it and talk about it. But like, and I don't mean this like in a nasty way or in any kind of like negative way towards people in general, but my first reaction to this news story was, wait, this isn't news. I thought everybody knew about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, hasn't we talked about this
I'm
before?
sure
I
we've
believe?
talked about this before. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal piece of reporting, and it's an excellent. Well, it's not an excellent read. It's an
Rebecca
excellently.
Valentine.
It's an excellently written article. It's a horrific.
Yeah, it's a brilliant
read.
piece of journalism.
But yeah, it's just like people. I saw the way people were reacting to this, and I was like, I thought we already knew that these. I mean, yeah, we did talk about this, Moody. I remember it was after that trailer came out, and the director said.
I'm a sexist piece of shit.
Yeah, more. He said, "Oh, I don't need women to play my game." And I was like, "Cool, see you later."
Yep. Bye, Felicia.
One less game to play. I'm in. But yeah, no.
Like, I was never playing this game, so I'll be all right. I won't lie. I was probably going to pick it for fantasy cricket, but I might not now. I'm just like, yeah.
No. So should I just read this, or do you want to? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
They're coming out with some statements. We can probably like cherry pick some of the things that they're doing. So, Feng Ji is a glaring example of how permit sexist behavior. So they've got a reputation. In 2007, is pregnancy too short? Is the baby lacking nutrition? They wrote a time, are the doctors in charge of cesarean sections lowly skilled? Why can't we produce a healthy product? So what they're doing is conflating the challenges that people go through when they bear children to video game production, and they were conflating that people who have stillborn children are the same as when a video game comes out and it gets low review scores, and it's like these are not the same things, my guy. It's
Interesting.
wild.
Yeah.
That is a bit wild. There's no doubt about that.
Oh God, sorry, Vitz, you just broke my brain a little bit. Yeah.
What's the stupidest thing I can say today?
I mean, Fang Sheep made a post on Weibo, which is a Chinese social media, about games that are separately made for men and women due to biological conditions.
Mm-hmm.
It's biology, really. That's why men and women like different games. It's because of biology.
Biology.
It's just science.
It's just science, just indeed.
I think it's widely known that within China and many different countries that there is a rather sexist agenda going on. Just it's sad to hear that it's permeating extent as it does in most places. Thankfully, the five-piece journalism that happened here is bringing some more eyes to the situation. Make their voices heard, vote with their wallet, whatever they feel power to do to not support this kind of behavior, and that's the only way to get change.
It's a weird one from that perspective, though. Like, obviously, we're talking about a Chinese development studio that their game is going to be massive in China, because this is one of the biggest games to come out of the Chinese game industry, and so it is a bit weird. It's like vote with your wallet. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking go near this game. I'm the wrong gender to play this game apparently anyway, so there wouldn't be much point. But like, how much are they going to feel that?
Come to the game. There's nothing in this for me.
That's weird. I downloaded the game and it's just a black screen. but in terms of sort of like it kind of sucks for like the Chinese game industry as a whole, including the women that work in it, because the big breakout moment is now tarnished by a fucking weirdo who says crazy shit like what Vitz just said he said.
It's a similar instance to the people who worked on Hogwarts Legacy and how their work is tarnished by. Exactly. It's
sorry.
It's one of the same, and sorry.
No, it's fine. It wasn't you. It's just you reminded me of something I saw last week. Someone I used to occasionally podcast with try to bring that fucking discourse back. And I was like, you fucking serious right now? But yeah, no, I get what you mean. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you with my utter disgust.
It's absolutely fine. It's an appropriate reaction whenever we discuss that topic.
Just
but if anybody plans on rushing the stage at Game Awards, can you just say Hogwarts Legacy and then throw up? That'd be the moment of the year.
I'm on it.
Well, apparently he's got more security this year, so
I'll throw up on Jeff Keighley. I'll be like,
Moody, that's just in case any women or people of color try to go up on stage.
True.
That's
what security for. That is true. If you ain't white, it ain't right, apparently. It's a Jeff Keighley's show.
The Game Awards. If you ain't white, it ain't right. Sponsored by Subway. Eat fresh. Yeah, it's like a fascinating read. Like some of the women they talk to who like don't play Chinese developed games and instead play games that they're imported from the West because those games aren't horribly sexist. And I was about to say neither are the people that make them. And it's like, no, we have this problem all over the world.
Yeah, sadly, yes.
But amplified, or like not amplified. There's a different word I'm looking for, but my brain can't think of it. But it's definitely a big deal, a big issue in this, at least in this development studio for sure, and across their industry.
It probably speaks to how endemic it is within Chinese. Isn't the culture of that country in terms of the government will screen anything that comes in to the country from outside of it, and the government will go through it to make sure it's not putting China in a bad light or saying anything about the the prime minister who may or may not look like poo. And it's one of these. And it's one of these things of if all that can get past the mark, but they won't even look internally to think, yeah, you know what, this is fine, and it's one of these. But to another story that I'm sure we'll get on to, with everything that Niantic is trying to pull at the moment, it's not a problem that is exclusive to China, but it's one of these that we more fantastic people like Reb speaking out for these people who are getting sidelined by misogynic and sexist people.
Yeah, I mean we can roll straight into the Niantic lawsuit.
You love Pokemon? We'll get a load of this.
Did you like Pokemon Go? Should we ruin Pokemon Go for people? That's what we do. We're the ruiners. I will ruin everything you love. Do not test me. Niantic, the creators of Pokemon Go, are currently involved in a lawsuit from an anonymous woman bringing legal action. They say Niantic tried to silence them when they complained that the workplace felt like a boys' club and a hostile work environment for women. Niantic did try to get the lawsuit dropped, and a judge basically went, "Nah, fuck that. We're going to do this." Good on that judge.
Hell yes.
But it's all based around gender discrimination. The usual. I hate the fact that I could say that sentence. Just the usual systemic gender discrimination, retaliation, and hostile work environment towards women. Yeah, you know, the usual things we find at game development companies when we scratch the surface a little bit.
Yeah, it's like everybody was shocked that, you know, when all the stuff came out about Riot back in, and then they investigated them and found doing. It's all hunky-dory.
Yeah. When Riot investigated themselves and were like, we didn't do anything wrong, and then a judge disagreed.
The funny thing about the Riot thing is that they did a documentary about the thing. It's like it wasn't just the developers; it was the fucking people who played the game. It's like the whole thing about the game in general. The developers and the fucking people who played it were just incredibly sexist and toxic. And you're just like, what the hell? It's just you just look at it, and you just go, oh god. Your brain breaks when you see that stupidness and everything, and you just go, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Just why? It's like it's got to take a special person to be just an evil piece of shit, just to be a prick. Like,
we call those people CEOs.
Yeah, like everybody on the exec level has to be kind of empowering and encouraging that behavior at some level in order to say this is acceptable, this is the way I have to behave in order to get accepted by these people, and you know, rise my way up the ranks. And you know, for that to be the only, there's a part of me that thinks the only way to get past this is to hold out until these people retire and they move on and they are replaced by hopefully more enlightened people. And it's one of these where, is that just a cynical way of thinking about it, or maybe a naive way of looking about it in terms of...
I would say it's probably a naive way to look at it.
Yeah, I would say right now, yeah, because like right now, like there's a great article out there about like the UK industry and everything, and it's just like how hard it is for companies to even just fill positions and everything, just because they aren't offering like the work from home schemes and everything. And people obviously aren't willing to move down to like go just in case, like how the industry, how it's so explosive, saying, well, now you're sacked, fuck off type of thing. Yeah. And you've just moved all the way down for no reason whatsoever. Like, yeah, I can see why people are just not wanting to do it and everything. Oh, God. My dog just jumped on my nuts. Oh, sorry. I know it was
We're a very serious professional podcast. Especially when we discuss serious issues.
We're talking about harassment.
So sorry. So sorry. Like, why, Adora?
We got jokes, everybody.
I mean, it's the word systemic, like that, you know, is the important word here. It's like these issues are systemic. It's not just a few bad apples. It's it permeates down throughout the whole system, as we've seen for the last half a decade. In terms of like in things that are coming out. Right. And, you know, obviously it's existed in games since the dawn of the video game industry, but we've really gotten sort of that inside look ever since the Riot stuff. I believe that was the first sort of flare.
That was like a watershed moment.
Yeah, that was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening at Riot Games, and Riot Games specifically. And then those of us who kind of thought about it for more than 5 seconds were like, yeah, sure, Riot Games and only Riot Games.
Of course it's only them. And then obviously it exploded.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, it's the whole industry. Great. And I don't know how you change it, because we've had this discussion for 5 years on this podcast in all sorts of different forms, and it's like, hey, we could get more women and people of color into the games industry, but all we're doing is we're feeding them into a meat grinder from the bottom, and then they're burning out or getting fired, like, which is a whole new 2023 twist on it. And then it's like, well, how is that actually helping to change the industry? Like, you know, CEOs think they can just do a 1 hour diversity course and then call it a day.
Yeah, they do the sexual harassment program and think,
yeah.
right, that's it. I'm healed.
They do their DEI presentation, and then they go back to fucking harassing women and being sexist, misogynist pigs. Like, as someone who, and the problem is, like, speaking out against this in that sort of environment, like Moody just alluded to before there, it's like, you know, saying the things to get ahead or to get inside the in group or the in crowd, and it depends on the culture of your entire studio. Like, I've worked, like, I try my best when I hear someone throw out some casual misogyny or casual racism, just to say, no, that's not cool. Like,
yeah.
And it doesn't make you a popular person.
It certainly doesn't.
No.
I've been on that side of the conversation in terms of trying to speak to people after we've had a meeting and saying, I didn't want to call you out in front of everybody and make you feel bad, but the way you tried to put your point across,
yeah,
you know, these are some red flags, and maybe then you're branded as the snitch.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then people do not want to do not even talk with you, and they feel all different kinds of defensive because they think, oh, they're examining everything you're saying, which is true because you've shown in the past. There's a litany of evidence to say, you know, you're a bad person because you're using things like this, and we've told you time and time and again, these are things you can do to, you know, take consideration of, or to improve the way you go about things, but you choose not to. Therefore, I am building a picture of you, this way, kind of thing. Yeah.
It's even just basic stuff. Like, you know, someone will complain about some foreigners that have just come in, you know what I mean? And all I say is, can we not do the foreigners thing? And it's like, okay, like, they get super defensive, and I'm like, why are you getting defensive, man? I'm not even saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying, could we not do that specifically? And you know, I think, like, I'm at the bottom rung, and it goes all the way up, right?
Yeah.
And it's got to be the same in these development studios. Like, you just form pockets of like-minded people, but then those pockets of like-minded people don't have power to make any changes, and you end up in situations like the one we're talking about at Niantic, or the one we're talking about at Game Science, or the ones we've been talking about at Ubisoft and Activision Blizzard and Rockstar and Riot and
let's not forget, Bobby Kotick had effectively had someone killed.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Aye. But
it's fine though, because Microsoft is going to fix them.
Oh, of course.
just like they've fixed all of the other studios that they've bought.
Of course.
I got the side eye off Moody there.
How many games have they released since they bought them all?
How many? About as many reports we've read of misconduct at the studios that they bought.
Yeah, it's the industry. Like, the whole thing is about. It's like, it all really depends on where to start. Really, like, for me, I would say start at educational level and everything. But, like, even like I've stated on multiple occasions for my when I was going through college, like, my first 2 years, I only had one girl in my class. The final 2 years, I had two, where they combined the two classes and brought them together for the final 2 years, who wanted to go to the final years and everything. And it was just like, but the industry's so petrifying, I think, for a lot of people, especially for women, people of ethnic minorities and everything. It's just basically, if you are white, it's an unsure industry to really get into and everything. And like, I'll never go through that or anything like that, and everything. And it's a shame to see that an industry that is so frustrates itself to be so inclusive and everything, or tries to be, you know. It's like, we support the prides on that 1 month and then fuck off for the rest of the year, you know.
I would like to say, I know I fully appreciate and respect what you're saying in terms of you'll never go through that, but there'll be some protected characteristics which will get vilified and in some shape or form, kind of thing. So I don't think anybody's quote unquote immune to this. But yeah, I mean, it's sadly, in today's industry, there are certain privileges to being a certain ethnicity.
There's no doubt about that. Yeah. There's no doubt. Like, I agree with what you're saying there, but like, I'm probably like I will probably I'm probably like 20% chances of
100%.
getting that, but sadly, it's which is terrible. You know, no one should suffer through that, and it's
for me,
really bad.
what I'd love to see in this instance with Niantic is for the Pokemon company to come out with a statement saying, we are aware of the reports which are coming out of this. We fully support the court case going ahead and all the rest of it, rather than just staying silent to sweep the rug, which I think is what's going to happen.
They're not going to say anything. They've made millions off this game. They're not going to say a single thing.
Sorry, Amy, I cut you off there.
That was a fascinating little back and forth, and I was thinking about what you were talking about, and I was like, I've kind of got this unique perspective where I can see it from both ends. As somebody who several years ago decided to jump feet first into 2 bear traps.
You are the Leon S. Kennedy.
as far as like, how much discrimination I suffer goes. So that was just fascinating to me. But yeah, no, the thing I was going to say was, when you talking there about like, the rainbow washing, it's like we put the pride flags up, but not on our Dubai accounts. And we totally celebrate you. And I was just thinking, didn't we just go through this thing where like Bethesda, like they had the whole thing with Starfield about the gender neutral pronouns, but then like didn't we also talk a couple of months ago about how they like fucked over their one trans employee to the point where she quit?
Which no big outlet talked about whatsoever, apart from The Gamer.
So it's like, we have this really sort of like big push even within the AAA game industry, like Suicide Squad Killer Justice League, with putting a single flag on a wall, and the games are doing one thing, but the companies are doing another thing, and it's like a distraction. It's like if the shiny toy. It's like, hey, just look at the game, and what it's doing. See, these are our real values. When it's like, actually, no, you're horrible pieces of shit.
Yeah, it's Pride Month, we'll change all our logos, but the second Pride Month's over, we'll change them right back. It's a marketing stunt to these people.
Yeah, it is. It's like...
Well, it's like, we talked about this weirdly enough with the World Cup, when the England footballers, and they were going to get like fucking red carded or whatever for wearing their armbands, and they did the whole thing of twisting of like, oh well, I really want to support them, but I don't want to suffer any consequences. And it's like, then just fuck your damn fucking armband. Don't wear it anywhere because it's worthless.
If you're not willing to make a stand, then don't
if you're not willing to suffer some consequences to supporting a marginalized people, then you don't bother. Like, it's the same with the Pride Month, like the avatar changes. It's like, I don't give a shit if you fucking change your avatar in June. Like, I give a shit about the things that you do. You can keep your avatar normal, all year round.
100%.
I also want to say Steph Sterling spoke about that issue with Bethesda and how they treat that trans employee. I just want to shout that out as well. Yeah, I said the Gamer, but I said they're the only ones, and I forgot Steph. That's all, and that's not fair.
And us, baby.
And us, yeah.
Because we're cool.
I wasn't part of the show then, but yes, still.
You were a part of the show then.
Oh,
yeah. Welcome to the family, son. Let's do an OpenCritic Head-To-Head.
Hell yeah.
It's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. I put that in the wrong one. Whoever guesses closest to the score at the time of recording gets...
Smeg, I didn't write numbers.
You ruined my joke. But I'm going to do it anyway. Whoever guesses closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you got 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of 2 games, but only one of them has an OpenCritic average right now. So we'll just do that one.
So I'm picking 77 for the SteamWorld build.
It's SteamWorld build. And last week I guessed it would get an 84. Vitz guessed it would get an 81. And Moody guessed it would get XX because he didn't actually fill the form in.
My brain was frazzled last week. Okay, leave me alone.
I did leave you alone. I feel like I left you alone too much. Clearly.
Yeah.
But at the time of recording, it has an OpenCritic average of 77, which means Vitz gets the point. So, Moody, don't worry. You lost nothing.
That's all right, then. So, but this over what? The other game hasn't got a score yet, you said?
No, so you can put something in there. Dragon Quest Monsters. I guess 75 and Vitz gets 79 at the time of recording. It doesn't have an open
Fine,
crack
I'll
average.
go 77.
To be fair,
Which is what you want to say for Steam World Build.
to be fair, it's not actually out yet, so we'll probably get reviews tomorrow, I guess.
Sweetness.
But we're also going to guess the open critic average of 2 more games, and the first one is Avatar. Something of the something. I forgot to write the subtitle in.
Oh, what is it called?
Frontiers of Pandora, maybe?
Yeah, that's it. Frontiers of Pandora.
A far cry from Pandora.
Yeah.
They should. You know what? They should have called it that. They should have called it that. The Far
Just
Cry
been
from
like
Pandora.
super honest about it.
Yeah. It ain't a Far Cry. It's a Far Cry from Pandora.
You know it's Far Cry. We know it's Far Cry. We know you know it's Far Cry.
Yeah, we all know it's Far Cry with a blue skin on it.
May I go for a 70, please? 70.
7-0. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And Moody, this is your
No, you go
Baby.
second. You go second. I always go last.
Moody, you know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Nice.
Go 69.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
71. Poor Vitz.
Listener, for everybody, Moody gets 71.
You know,
71.
if there's one game I'm gonna meme on, it's the Avatar game.
Why'd you have to meme on a franchise that I love?
Is this a critical time of of Open Critic Head-To-Head where me and Moody are tied, and these are the last games we're probably going to be able to go for? Guess scores for? Yes, it is. Is Amy still?
Yeah, it will be, won't it?
Is Amy still going to meme all over it? Yes, she is. She don't give no fucks.
Well, I think you're gonna give a fuck with the next game, though.
I am, but but I'm going first on this one. So the next game is A Highland Song. Now, A Highland Song is the most important game of 2023 because I have it in Fantasy Critic, and I'm 13 points behind Vitz. And it's the decider. Everything in Fantasy Critic is going to come down to A Highland Song.
You can't pick anything else, can you, Vitz? You've missed out.
No, I think my card is stacked.
He could. He's got a space.
Yeah.
We discussed this last
nothing.
week, where it's like, based on what's left, do you want to run the risk of losing points?
Yeah,
or would you
yeah,
rather
yeah.
just take a 0?
I think the only game which is potentially viable is the Warhammer game, which is due in early December. And I'm
That
not
could go either way.
Warhammer
That
games,
Yeah.
as we've seen with both me and Russ, they can just they can do a lot of things.
So, our colours are tied to the mast, and
So
as we were saying last week, kind of made the best person win.
I need this game
to be an 84.
to get an 84 or above. So I am putting in as my Open Critic Head-To-Head guess 84. I'm going to try and manifest this. If I tie my mast to this game's getting an 84 and win both games because it gets an 84, that's legendary.
The play of the century. I'm gonna go for a 79, please.
Please, God, game critics, you've taken so much from me. Give me this one thing.
The thing is, they reviewed their last game.
79. 79.
This is the thing. They reviewed their last game, Overboard,
Yeah,
which
they
was
reviewed
highly
Overboard.
rated with them.
I'm sure they've reviewed all of them. 80 Days, Heaven's Vault.
So it's like they are like a overall a company that people keep an eye on and everything. I want to have a double check on OpenCritic for one game. Overboard. Overboard was an 88.
Hell yeah, it was.
Oh no.
Yeah, but Heaven's Vault was a 75. And everybody who
that's good.
everybody who contributed to that Open Critic score should be arrested.
Why? Because it should be higher? Or
Yeah, it should
lower?
be fucking way higher. Heaven's Vault's class.
I've never heard of the game. Sorry, the first game I heard of this company was Overboard during the pandemic.
You fly around like in this cool sci-fi setting and translate languages and do archaeology and stuff. It's really interesting.
What'd you pick, Vitz?
That's No Man's Sky.
79. Wow,
But
Vitz.
good.
I'm going off vibes. And if I'm somehow manage to win this thing, it'll be
Yeah, me and Vitz are both have
Yeah.
too much personal investment in this.
This is the thing about it. I'm fighting for a different thing here. I'm fighting for obviously OpenCritic to retain my title for OpenCritic.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm fighting for Fantasy Critic. Like, the fact that I'm still in Fantasy Critic is a miracle.
My score, if I get right, or will help Amy, 85.
Let's do it. 85. Let's go. I'll take that.
I think it's going to go higher.
I'll take that.
I won't lie.
If I lose
I think
this because the game goes higher, fine.
Yes.
If I win, the only other more legendary thing that could happen in OpenCritic Head-To-Head is if I manage to win the whole thing because Avatar gets a 69.
Yeah. Well, it all depends on like there's 3 games, isn't it? Obviously, like there's still
we've got Dragon Quest Monsters.
Yeah, so it's like, oh god, what if I get points for that and points for Highland? You get
And I get
Avatar
69
correct,
for Avatar.
and
Like,
it ties us it ties us at 38 each.
If Amy gets it on a tie and she's gone 69, I think she would.
No,
I win.
I retain by default because I'm the defender.
That's not, no, we draw. That's fine to draw.
Yeah, and I retain by default.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I won't lie, like, if Vitz wins while still having a space available, that's like legendary stats. I'm not
Having
lying.
said that,
It's like,
Amy
I'm so
got
comfortable,
shafted
I didn't
by-
even need to make another game.
No, I will say that Amy has got shafted by Silksong not coming out this year. If that come out,
what I
then
really
she would
got
have wiped the floor with all of us.
What I really got shafted by was no games getting fucking officially delayed. Like, if you look at Moody's team, he's got Star Ocean, the Star Ocean remake, which got an 85. I was the one that told him about a fucking game.
She did. She did.
I was like, if I could pick that game up right now, I would, but I can't. And it was the same with Slayer the Princess, which got fucking a 91. It's like, if I could have picked that game, I would have, but I just couldn't drop anything until November 1st. That's what shafted me.
Win, lose, or draw for me, I think I've had a fantastic debut year. So
hell yeah.
I'm
Yeah, he
happy.
came out swinging like fucking hell. I said in January, I want to fight, and I fucking got one.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow, Jesus. So, like I'm holding on to 3rd place in Fantasy Critic right now.
Fingertips.
Yeah, I'm 2 points ahead of Fairwald, but like Russell's like got 3 games coming out. One, he's got a score for obviously for Steam World, which is going to raise him up, but not enough to catch me, depending on what month Dragon Quest is, and then obviously Avatar. Oh, he's probably got me, unless those 2 games completely flop like crazy when it comes to the critics, which it could. Who knows? They're a fickle bunch of people, these critics.
I mean, you're already deep in the planning 2024 stage.
Fuck yes, I am. I gave up like 6 months ago. I was already planning 6 months ago.
Like, yeah, me and Vitz have been like too invested in 2023. Like,
Yeah. I gave up like as soon as I saw like half of my games were like just like, yeah, we're getting pushed till next year. I was like, well, I'm out.
happens to the best of us.
Yeah, happened
Fucking
to you
Silk
2
Song.
years ago, wasn't it? 2 years.
No, I just had a bad year 2 years ago. I tried to be clever.
You did try to be
it
clever.
spectacularly blew up in my face.
Yeah. And I was
Really
just cocky. I was thinking,
spectacularly.
I want to win, but I also want to win with the highest rated game and the lowest rated game.
Yes.
That game almost fucked me. Again, I'm never listening to Greg Miller ever again.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
It really was.
Oh, my game's coming out. Oh, well, I've already won anyway. Let's see how much further this can... What the fuck just happened?
I've gone from like a 30-point lead to like 5 points lead. It's like, what the hell?
Man, to think about like how close I could have... I almost ended up being a winner that year. But, hey, there's always next year.
Hey, there's always this year. You haven't lost yet.
I mean, for me, there's always next year.
Okay.
I buried him the first year we did this, and then he buried me the second year. So
Yeah.
and then I buried him the third year, and now here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, the third one's not on here, 2022.
No, because what I did was I hit New Year for 2023. I finally realized you can just start the year with all the same players and stuff. That's why I've got a little crown next to my name,
Ah,
because I was the champ last year. If Vitz wins, he'll get a crown next to his name next year.
Okay, sweetness.
But me and Vitz have already agreed we need to team up and stop you because you're coming for us.
Yes. There'll be collusion of the highest order, don't you worry.
Yeah,
so like Vitz, if you win, right, you're gonna leave Silk Song for me, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, cool.
It's tradition.
I have to pick it. It's not. I have to pick this game. I've had it in every team since 2020. I don't even give a shit if it never comes out. It has to be in my team.
Yeah. Amy gets Silk Song. I get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's how it goes.
Well, if you win, you get to pick a game to tax before everybody else.
There you go, then.
And yeah, you're gonna put. Yeah, I know you're gonna take Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If I didn't have a narrative arc tied to Hollow Knight Silk Song, and I was in first, I would pick Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But I'm obviously not gonna do that because I've got a storyline 5 years in the making.
It's like longer than the dev cycle of the game at this point.
It was like I picked it in 2020. I was like, I played it last year at EGX. It was really good. 5 years later, I played it at EGX. It was really good. They said it was coming out. Where is it? Oh man, I took the piss out of April so hard for counter picking that game in January, and maybe she's forgot. Oh, that's gonna do it for episode 380 of the Words Back Games podcast.
Just think next year we're gonna have our 400th episode, don't we?
We are, and we'll celebrate it the same way we celebrated the 300th episode. Moody fucks off to Liverpool and leaves me scrambling to try and find a co-host.
I've already moved. It's all good.
Yeah,
all
well, 20 weeks-ish, 22 weeks from now. We'll see what you do next.
22, 23 weeks, isn't it? Oh.
How's,
all right.
How's Moody going to get out of the 400th?
No, don't look at the mic.
If you have any ideas, please write in the comments below.
Yeah, give him some ideas. Like, see what he does.
This is at least 100 subscribers, right? Showing a dog. That's how it works on YouTube.
That's how it works. Yeah, sure. That's how it works.
I can't hear you.
Moody, do you have any? Actually, you know what, Vitz, do you have any words to close out the podcast while Moody is getting?
There we go.
Bit.
Yeah, 100%. Like before, take a deep breath, unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, and be kind to yourself.
I struggle with that last part, but I'll do all the other ones.
High five to the sky. And get yourself a puppy. They're very relaxing most of the time.
Yeah, when they're not trying
to eat you.
Oh, look at her. She's so cute and adorable.
Yeah, not 30 minutes ago she jumped up on your nuts.
And she's away.
And she's gone.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.